What is going on, everybody? Depraved Slasher here. Welcome back to the Pound and Slash Marvel Media Podcast.
Yeah.
I'm Depraved. This is Pound, aka Ralph.
Hello.
We also call him Ralphus.
Ralphus.
This is the second episode this week. There's going to be no news for this episode.
No, we're just going right into it.
So what's going on is we had decided we were going to do 10 episodes and then realized that we didn't want a 2.5 hour long episode to cover 10 episodes of this series that we're doing.
Right.
So we did 5 the first episode. We're doing 5 now. This honestly shouldn't take that long. This will
Right.
probably be a 30 to 45 minute episodes, what I'm guessing. Depending.
Right.
Well, it depends. We might really get into it.
Especially the next episode. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot to talk about. So, if you're looking for the news or anything like that, please go back to our last episode. It came out a couple days ago.
We probably will link in the description.
And no.
Okay.
No, they can just find it.
That's fine. Oh, okay.
If you go to our page, click into it.
We're good people.
I'm just saying,
We're awesome.
we will love you for it.
Right.
But we are covering Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which is an animated show that came out on Disney XD back in 2010. Started September 22nd of 2010.
Yeah, September 22nd.
So, and we've been pleasantly surprised with the series so far as a whole.
Yeah, at first it was like, what? Now we're like, hey.
Except for this episode that I loved and Ralph hated. All right, so we're picking up where we left off. They're still going back and checking out past episodes. Mm-hmm. This episode is called, this is episode 6. This is called Meet Captain America. And first off, there are so many tie-ins to this specific episode for the rest of the series.
Right.
And a few, they're just setting up for future episodes.
Yeah, you can tell it's set up everywhere.
There's going to be a lot to go on. We open this episode with Kang the Conqueror in his time period researching Captain America. We don't know why.
Right.
We just know he's looking into Captain America. And what I found interesting about this is Kang the Conqueror is expected to be the next big MCU villain.
Right.
So I'm super stoked to see where all of this, like this is kind of like a little preview of what we're going to get in the MCU in terms of character-wise.
Because he's like researching it because, he wants to, I guess, know more about Captain America. Like,
well, there's a reason. We find out later.
Right. There's a reason for it, yep.
But he gets this little biopic of Captain America, one of those old school World War II videos. Captain America's out on the front lines and...
The poster boy.
Yeah, he's the poster boy.
Wait, you say you didn't like this time. I thought you didn't like this.
I don't like this cap, but I love this episode.
Okay.
Okay, so...
Yeah, he's like poster boy.
And we end up opening up.
Right, just go right
or
there.
it goes into the episode.
Right into
and we've got the Howling Commandos, including Howlet. Which, if those of you that don't know, Howlet was Wolverine's military name.
Yes, it was. He even got the mustache.
So, Wolverine's in this episode.
I got you, pup.
Now, he doesn't use his claws.
No.
But he does use some of his other ability. Like, he does the little leap.
The leap. Yeah, he leaps.
It's pretty gangster. We'll get there. We'll get there.
He says a good line.
But we open with the Howling Commandos storming a science lab that belongs to Hydra. And they kind of almost mimicked the storming of Normandy Beach from World War II, the actual video footage that you can actually see that happened.
Now, the African American dude, like, what did they ever give that dude his? I know it's all how Commandos, but there was African American at the beginning. I thought. I mean,
you talking about the guy Cap saves?
Yeah.
That's Nick Fury's.
Yeah,
dad.
I'm trying to remember. Like,
that's Jack Fury.
See, and we'll talk about that later too, because
that's what I'm talking about. There's so many tie-ins.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty interesting.
That makes this episode so good to me.
He's like, you say, yeah.
So they're storming the science lab. They almost get blown up, and then Cap joins the fight.
And he came in like a poster boy. He's like, well, "Bow, I'm here. What's good?"
Right. They get up to the front gate after doing some fighting.
Yep.
Now in this process, like, dude throws a grenade, and Cap blocks it.
Or he like either blocks it or bats it out of the way. He does something,
and it explodes, which causes Jack to fall down, and he's like, Jack.
Right.
Which we don't find out until later that this is actually Nick Fury's dad that he saves.
Or
granddad. Or dad, one of the two. And Jack's fine.
Right.
But as he's standing there trying to make sure Jack's okay, a Hydra dude comes up and hits him with a gun.
Right.
And Cap looks at him like, "Are you serious?"
Right. He went. And he's like that. And he's like, "Okay."
And then all of a sudden it pans to like underneath the bridge and you see dude flying off the edge.
Off the bridge into the water.
I was like, yeah, he didn't make it.
Right.
He's not going to be in the sequel.
Nope. No, he ain't going to be in no sequel. He dead.
They get up to the actual front gate, and this is where we find out who's on the inside. Bucky drops the gate. Now, what's funny, Bucky kills the dude here.
Yes, he does.
You don't realize it because they don't actually show it.
Yeah, but he actually does kill
But the drawbridge falls down on top of one of the Hydra soldiers. And they actually make the bone crunch sound. I don't know if you listened.
Yeah, flat noise.
Which, again, I don't know if this was a good show for kids, but hey, we're here for it.
Man,
I would let my kids watch.
Yeah, I would.
Bucky was on the inside. Now, this is my one pet peeve with this episode. Bucky, how did you get inside?
How did you get inside? He uses super commando power.
This is his problem with the show.
This is why I hate this motherfucker.
Okay.
Oh my god, Robin, for real?
I'm guessing the MCU was your first experience with who Bucky was.
Right, that was my first experience. I never really had.
Now, see, I actually read older Captain America comics.
And you say it was like that. Which, I mean, if he wasn't yet, then...
And in the comics, Bucky was very much a Robin-esque character.
Discount Robin. Gee, Willikers, man, how's it going?
Now, obviously, when he gets turned into Winter Soldier, he becomes a badass.
Badass, yeah.
But to be fair,
well, you said
he was a badass here.
No, you know, I never. Yeah,
when he gets to fighting.
Yeah, no, he knows. Yeah, he's like an acrobatic Robin. He's literally like a Robin-esque player. He's like very agile, very like you can't touch me. Like, and he's even giving out quotes while he's doing it.
So they go to fight this. They get inside and they hear this growl, and I love this moment because Bucky's like, "Here, I'll take this one. You can handle the next one." And all of a sudden, the Cyclops walk out, and he goes, "You know what? On second thought, you handle this one.
You handle it. You got it. You got it, Batman."
So they pretty much convinced this Cyclops to throw itself off of the building.
Which that was crazy. That was interesting.
It's not like they talked him into it. Like he charged, they moved.
Yeah, it literally was like a whoop. There you go.
It was very quick. I missed it the first time I watched it. And almost missed it the second time I watched it.
Right. And he should have waved to him like, bye.
Right. They end up running into a room where they see Red Skull.
Red Skull.
And then all of a sudden you hear Red Skull go, "Captain America.
I'm happy you're here.
Happy you could join us."
And then we get another Robin moment.
And then all of a sudden they point the guns at him.
Including Robin.
They're getting ready to fight these guys. He's like, he says, "I have faith you would make it, but I don't think your partner would."
It's just a donkey. I go back to Shrek when he said that. It's just a donkey.
And Cap honestly agrees. He hands over his shield.
And then Buggy's like, "You always get me like a spoiled child. You always get me in trouble. Like I ain't never go like a little child." That's some Robin shit. That's one of my I'm like, damn, Bucky.
Right.
Dang.
So
no.
they capture.
Yeah, right.
Capture.
Buck. Cut to capture. That's it.
And he walks them down there, and Red Skull does his monologue, as all good villains fuck up and do.
Generic villain monologue. Remember Graviton. So generic villain monologue. Here we go.
And he explains to them that he's no longer going after man-made powerful weapons.
Yeah.
He's found something else. He's reached into the Asgardian mythos.
How the hell? I guess because he researched, but I guess so.
And what he did, and where they are at, is they're apparently, at least back then in the 40s, there were designated places that Thor and them would take, or not necessarily Thor himself, but the gods from Asgard would take the, what do they call it? The teleportation thing. I just don't remember what it's called now.
It's like a gate? No. What is it? Because it's something to transport them, right?
Yeah, dude, it's the thing that Thor always takes in the movies.
Oh, Mjolnir.
Not the hammer. The rainbow thing.
Oh, the rainbow bridge.
Well, I know the rainbow bridge, but there's a certain thing that it's called when... Anyways, you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm having a complete mind fart, and he's never any help anytime I need help. Ever. Like, the dude don't even remember we were talking about Kang the Conqueror. When I tried to talk about him before, he's like, "I don't know who you're talking about." I love you.
I hate this episode. Did I mention I hate this episode?
I just don't... This has nothing to do with this episode. I just don't remember what the fucking thing is called.
Yeah, I don't know what this... Yeah.
Off the top of my head. I'll remember it when I'm like 3 episodes in. So anyways,
oh, there it is.
they're in a place where this was like the only place they could use that fucking teleportation ability. But he's capturing cyclopses and
he got
wolves
fairies and everything, monsters and all
fairies
kind of things.
and all kinds of monsters.
And even back like before, he's like, "What is this?" And then Cap's like, "I don't even know what this is." Like,
right?
Yeah, you.
And then they've put these collars on the animals
like
and people and creatures, and it controls them so that they will attack the people that Red Skull wants them to attack.
Right.
The Bifrost.
I did say, and I do have that. Ralph, why did you not look down? I put that on my notes. Bifrost, the Rainbow Bridge.
I dislike you, Ralph.
Ah!
You're fired.
Fired. Can't come back to this shit no more. Bye, guys.
Anyways.
I did put that down, and I said it in my notes. Bifrost.
Oh, dear God. So... they released the dog and a couple more Cyclopsi, because I don't know what multiple Cyclopses are.
Yeah.
So I put Cyclopsi.
Cyclopsi, yeah. Right.
Von Strucker gets involved.
Oh, yeah, Von Strucker,
he's like, I've been waiting to test this sword or some crazy shit.
And then he's like, well, try again.
And then...
and quit, so he's whooping his ass.
Everyone whoops all of Red Skull's people's asses.
Yeah, badly.
Like, to be honest, Cap... way overpowered Von Strucker. I thought Von Strucker was going to put more of a fight up.
Yeah, he beat the shit out of him.
And Cap just whooped his... no, it wasn't Von Strucker. It was Zemo.
Zemo, but Von Strucker got ass whooped by Bucky.
Or no, he runs into Zemo later. This is Von Strucker.
Right. I thought Bucky was one I thought he was fighting Bucky. And
no, because Bucky was... honestly, they relegated Bucky to just fighting the regular Hydra Goon.
Oh, okay. I thought he was trying to test the sword out on Bucky.
Cap fought Von Strucker.
Right.
The Wolf, the 2 Cyclopses.
Bro, yeah.
And then they were in the process of pulling a frost giant through.
Right.
Because
they were still like they were still like tied up before all that happened. He was like, what? He said, now. He said, wait for it. Now. Wait for it. Now. Bam. I'm like, oh my god. What type of punch was? They just sat. Okay, hold on. They just sat there and let them just get punched. Bam.
So
get my shit back, bitch.
At some point after they whoop all these guys' asses, it comes down to just Von Strucker and Cap. And Von Strucker goes to dive at Cap with his sword. Cap sidesteps it.
Yep.
And the sword goes into one of the computers. It electrocutes him, but it also shuts off the Bifrost.
And he's like, what are you doing?
This was my problem. The way that thing is set up, it should have cut the frost giant in half.
Oh, yeah, that should have.
But instead, he just went back through the portal, and it was gone.
He's gone. No, it should have went
right,
boom, and it should have been like an instant.
Now, what's funny though is at one point they had whooped everyone's ass so hard, all the monsters ran back into the Bifrost.
Yeah, every monster, and he said, "Get back in there." They all
except for the wolf. The wolf actually continued to attack, but eventually the frost giant grabbed the wolf.
Yeah, he snagged him,
and then he took the wolf in with him when he got cut off. So then there's an escape attempt.
Yep.
Where Red Skull is then trying to escape, and he has this rocket perched, in the back of this lab, and he gets in the rocket, and it's starting to take off, and Cap and Bucky get to the base where it has a ladder.
Right.
And Cap's like, all right, Bucky, you stay here, and make sure the base stays safe, which I'm like, if the place is blowing up, I don't think it really matters.
Yeah, it was going down.
And then all of a sudden you see him jump on, and then as he gets up closer to where Red Skull is inside the ship, you hear Bucky go...
Yeah, you see the smoke, and then the smoke clears, and it's like, Bucky hopped on that bitch.
Bucky hopped on there with him.
He hopped on that bitch.
And he's like, Bucky, get off. And he's like, but we're a team. And he's like...
I would have kicked him off the fucking thing right there.
All right, let's do this.
We just agreed to it? What the fuck is this? I would have been like, get the fuck off.
Now...
He would have been... He would have flew off.
Now...
Flew off, bitch. Gotcha.
As Cap gets up to... At this point, it has taken off. It's flying like a normal plane.
Yep.
And Cap breaks the window.
Yeah.
And
boom.
He's like, he does the superhero thing. Well, we're gonna stop you.
Yeah,
and
the superhero.
And he's like, I'm glad you jumped on. And he hits like the self-destruct thing. And all of a sudden, this bomb starts to click down, and it ejects his seat.
Right. And fun fact that was like that's how he hit the self-destruct when he blew up that base in the first Captain America, first Avenger with the old timer type bomb. Right. Yeah, which I don't know why they couldn't get out of there, but who cares?
So then, Cap realizes they need to jump off.
Yeah, they gotta jump off.
Except he looks back, and lo and behold, Bucky has gotten his leg stuck in the ladder. Thank you, Bucky, for being helpful.
He was helpful for like 3 seconds.
I will tell you, though, Bucky does the most ballsy thing a sidekick could do.
Right, because I don't think Robin would do that shit.
No. Cap goes down to try and help free his leg.
His leg out.
And Bucky legit says, Cap, this world needs you more than it needs me.
He went...
And he boots him off of the
fuck off that motherfucker.
He
fucking... You booted him off.
He this is Spartan fucking...
He does the most... He does the most Terminator thing to turn with the thumb. He's like, Bucky! He went, deuces, bitch!
Cap sees the rocket explode.
Yeah, he just goes
and it goes in all slow motion.
Right.
Which, by the way, this is how you use slow motion in a show.
Right, no, for real, that's
Return of the Hulk. Not how you did it.
Not that.
This.
No,
this is how you use slow motion.
It was like a weird little, like a like it vibrated the whole situation. He just took it. Right.
He lands in the Arctic.
Right.
Where he freezes. Now, here's the thing. I thought
he died when I saw it. I was like, well, maybe he ain't coming back. Maybe that was the end of his story. That's what I thought when I first saw it.
This is actually more close
to
how it happened in the comics.
Yeah, yeah. Really? Okay.
Yes. So I was actually really happy to see them actually do this in animation form.
Right.
And I think it's also always fun to see different versions of origin stories. Do not get me wrong, guys. If it were not for Captain America: The First Avenger in the MCU, I still would not like any iteration of Captain America. I hate Captain America typically as a hero, but I loved what the MCU did with him.
Yeah.
Because the MCU didn't make him this poster boy Scout. I mean, he still had a Boy Scout mentality, but he was humanized.
Right. Like, one of the first things he did was, like, he had to go back, because we can't go by enemy lines. I'm like, the fuck? You can't go get the soldiers that were captured by Hydra, and they're like, they could die. He's like, well, I got a little poster boy, and they send me you, and he said, fuck it, I'll go do it my damn self then. I'll bring it back myself. And I said, that's pretty ballsy of him doing that.
But, so then all of a sudden, Kang appears in the sky.
Right.
And he's watching, and he actually goes back through the events.
Yeah, he said backwards 3 seconds or 10 seconds or something.
Yeah, he rewinds time, and it shows the part of like Bucky and Cap inside the tower, and then like when he disappears, Bucky actually turns around and looks because he feels like he notices something was there.
Right, he knows something was
there. But obviously he didn't actually see Kang.
Right.
So I almost wonder if Kang being there does cause is almost
and
like
maybe that's what caused that rift right there, like when his presence.
And then Kang fast forwards through time to where
it just goes right to the rocket.
It goes to them running up to the rocket, and then he fast forwards through time a little bit again, where it shows the rocket flying off, and then it fast forwarded a little bit again.
Because he didn't know where Cap fell. He just kind of saw him fall into the water and free. Well, he didn't know if he He
finally sees him fall off to get an accurate area of where he's at, and then he speeds through time so that he could see what the place looked like that he was at.
Right, but before he could finish it, that's when he said, we got a time rift, something happened.
But all of a sudden, we hear something the computer come over, and you're right. They say, we hear a time, or what was it? Because I actually wrote it down. It says, it's just a time disturbance distress
call. Because he was trying to find out where Cap was, but he couldn't finish, so he bolted back to where his ship was.
I think we're going to get some of this in Loki.
Yeah, I can see that happen. Yeah. Ooh.
I'm just saying.
Where that would be...
Things are going to be interesting.
One disappears. Like, one universe actually just disappears. Oh, that would be weird. Man.
So Kang goes back to his base, and he's told that there's basically a time-space rupture.
Right, and he's seen his own...
And he's watching...
planet go.
Well, it's the future of Earth.
Or future of Earth.
Because he conquered the Earth in the future. Like, literally conquered the Earth.
He can't conquer for his, gamer tag. Like, no, he conquered the Earth, man. He just took it out.
Right. And he's watching buildings disappear.
Right.
and civilizations and things happen, and
it's
he's
like turning into some ash or rubble, like a wasteland.
Kang blames Captain America, and I don't know why yet.
Oof.
Because he says this has something to do with you.
You know, it's so funny. That could actually be a future reference too. Because what if, like, the events will happen with with Endgame, could be why Kang the Conqueror shows up.
Right.
Because the fact that they fucked up everything. Maybe Thanos should have won, so that way Kang can still have kept his civilization going. Now that Thanos is gone, now this is why Kang. Ooh, look at us.
There's a lot of things this could go.
Oh God.
Anyways,
Kang can really show up to the. Kang shows up too.
Kang asks where Ravonna is,
Ravonna.
Princess Ravonna ends up being his wife.
It's his wife.
This part was actually really cool, and I love this part of the episode.
Right.
She runs in. They're like, she's getting on the ship, and all of a sudden she walks in. And she's like, "Kang, my dear, what's
right.
wrong?"
And before, and
he's like,
you see his soldiers like, he's
like,
just dematerialized out of existence.
He's like, "We gotta go," and then all of a sudden, the bright light pops up inside the ship.
Right.
The guards start to disappear. Right. And she starts to fall into the light. And he reaches in, grabs her arm, pulls her out, and he's like, "Hit it, we gotta go."
And go, gun it, and then
they hit the button, and they end up, they appear, basically where present time is in the show.
Right,
is where I'm pretty sure they ended up.
It's like, and then before they leave, or after they leave, you see just that Earth just turned into a wasteland, like the whole ball, like the ball stuff is just orange. It's a wasteland. It's gone.
It's a wasteland, and I love that Kang was like. He said, he's like, "Ravonna, I swear I'll save you."
Right, because she's just like in a comatose or something, or whatever the hell, or what is that, like knockout state or something? Because Jesus, she was still fading, and I think even the soldier said the effects are still in her because she's like going in and out.
Yeah, she's like
literally
fading.
like a ghost, like.
And he goes, "I swear to save you, even if it means I have to conquer this time."
Oh, this is some MCU shit, bro. And I can see him doing this. I can see him doing this.
So here's the thing, and this is why this episode scored so highly for me. I could tell you right now, I gave this episode a 9.
Yeah.
This is one of the few episodes. Now these are back-to-back 9s for me.
Right.
A lot of parts of this episode I really don't like. Again, I don't like Boy Scout Captain America. They legit gave him the full-blown... Now, he does get better in the show. It's not as bad later.
I will stop
But right now, it is very, very cringy to me.
What are we here for? Okay, I'll go do this. Oh, shit. He's that guy. He's that cat.
It's a very cringy episode for a lot of it. Again, I'm not as big a fan of the Bucky situation as I almost probably appear to be. I do think it's cool to see him in that fashion, though, because that is how he was in the comics.
Yeah.
So I love the more comic accurate. Now, do not get me wrong. Do I like MCU's version more? Way more.
Better. Right, of course.
But it's still fun.
Even when he was Bucky in the MCU, or like when he was with, he was like,
It's still fun to see how he was originally intended.
Right.
So I thought that was cool. But what wins this episode for me is all the Easter eggs. Yeah, you want to talk about an episode that's filled with just Easter eggs?
Right.
This is it.
Like Wolverine, the Bifrost, everything.
With Wolverine being in it.
Nick Fury's grandfather.
Nick Fury's grandfather being in it. And then, because if you think about it, if Cap doesn't save... Nick Fury's grandfather here.
Where that would have
Nick
been
Fury's not down this way, so like seeing that Cap is a direct reason why Nick Fury's alive.
Right.
And like so you got that, then you've got the Bifrost Bridge and the Asgardians being brought in.
The
monsters.
Right.
The ice giant, the Cyclopses, the Fenrir.
Right.
Just
the wolf and everything. Like it's a lot of like ties into this story. Like even they said, like you said, like I'm finding Asgardian mythos, and I'm like, okay, so now we are really diving into this type of reality now.
This is where the series for me legit feels like it starts branching out with intricate branches.
Yeah, because you didn't know where this can go anywhere.
Because even though we do get to see like Loki weaving his web in that one episode,
right?
This one, it legit like it feels like he's just setting up one thing, whereas this one's like, okay, we've got a bunch of things going on here because this happens over here. We've now introduced Wolverine. We've now set Kang up for something to happen here.
Like ice on the cake. Kang is literally trying to take over the world now.
We also now know Captain America is probably going to be brought back at some point.
He was trying to find him before this shit popped off. He was trying to find him.
Right. So we do know there's a bunch of things coming. We don't know 100% what all yet.
Right, because we didn't know when. We knew it was coming, we just didn't know when it was coming. Like we didn't know, like, oh, is this episode that we're gonna finally do this shit?
But again, that's something I love about this series. Is this series is definitely the one thing I hate about superhero cartoons, and even though a couple of my favorites do it,
right.
The one thing I hate about superhero cartoons is every episode feels like it's its own adventure.
Yeah, like,
and I get why kids like that, because you don't expect kids to follow a huge storyline.
Right. Especially,
but this show was pretty much like, fuck you.
Right.
We're going to plant out this entire season-long storyline.
Yeah.
And you're either going to follow it or you're not.
Right. You don't have to. Right. Or you're going to get lost. You're going to be like, well, fuck it. Like, I guess I'm going to get lost.
We'll probably talk about this again at the end of all this. But,
yeah.
But yeah, I gave the episode a 9 out of 10.
What did I give it?
10. You gave it a 7.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
Bucky was too much for him.
Bucky just... When he came in, you always give me... I said, motherfucker. You knew what this was, bro. That's what Cap should have said. You knew what this was. You may die. and then you see Cap just... I mean, I knew... this part I knew there was a plan. He just literally said, I can't feel strength for your friend. Fuck it. I know. You're weak as shit, bro. You can't help me. So...
I keep forgetting to turn off this picture.
What picture?
The big one.
That's what she said.
Anyways.
Giggity.
Actually, I kind of like the big picture being up all the time.
Right.
Look at that. Bam.
Yeah, I thought you liked that. He did it last episode. Yeah,
no, the last episode it was up for a little bit, and then I disappeared and it had the little small one.
Oh, yeah, no. Look, because it looks more cool. Like, I feel like we're looking more professional now.
Sure.
Sure.
All right, so that was episode 6. That was called Meet Captain America. Next up.
Okay, this is the one we really gonna hate. This is the one you and I are just gonna.
This is tied for the worst episode I've seen so far.
Yeah.
This episode is called "The Man in the Anthill."
Guess.
Now there are some cool things with this episode. Do not get me wrong.
There's some cool things.
There is a reason this episode ranks so low for me, and we'll get there.
Yeah.
So this episode starts off. Hank Pym, by the way, the one thing this show does not have is a good intro theme song.
Oh, we finally talked about that theme song.
I meant to talk about this earlier.
Boring as hell.
The intro theme song is so terrible. Like, there's got to be a lot of kids that watched this and was like, fuck this show.
Right. They probably cut off from that because that you'd be surprised. Theme song, if they ain't bugging, nah, they ain't gonna watch that.
I am so glad Disney Plus allows skip.
Yeah, because it's like, we're the Avengers. We're here to fight. I'm like, oh my god, no way. A whole theme song. Oh shit.
Y'all are gonna make me kill myself. All right. So
that was one negative gripe for me too. The thing, but yeah.
In this episode, episode 7, The Man in the Anthill, starts off. We find out Hank Pym's hired by S.H.I.E.L.D. to inspect some vibranium that was found outside of Wakanda.
Yep.
And he's in this little lab.
Hank Pym, he's just a nerd. I mean,
which is fine. Hold on. We're not to that point yet because he's going to be a nerd because he's a scientist.
Yes, yeah, I know.
That doesn't become a problem till a couple episodes down the line. You're just already trying to jump into Hank Pym being a shitty character. We don't find that out in this episode. Because he actually kicks ass in this episode.
No, he does. He does. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
What's wrong with somebody being a nerd?
No, nothing. Nothing. But Wasp is better. That's why I fucks with Wasp the most.
She don't even fight in this episode. Chill.
No, I know. But she wants them to stop.
No, she don't even know.
I know she don't know. Yeah, she don't.
Anyways.
Yeah, keep going.
So, Hank Pym is interrupted by Ulysses Claw, who looks way different than the MCU version.
Whoa, yeah.
He's like this tall, skinny...
Right, at least Andy Serkis looked more kind of like... Look, I'm going to say
fat.
bulky, but fat. Yeah, he looked fat.
There's no bulk.
I thought he had bulk to it.
No.
That's all fat. Andy Serkis, I can't wait for this shit. He didn't lose his arm either. Damn. Like, I thought he left the arm, but it's a...
But, so what's really cool is when they break into the lab.
No, it's bad.
So at the start of this episode, I actually really liked Hank Pym. Don't get me wrong, this will change. I eventually started disliking him.
And it's not because he's a nerd. He's just
for me, he's kind of a whiny bitch.
See,
but we'll get there. That's a couple episodes down the line. This episode specifically, so
Hell no.
I really liked Hank Pym at the start of this, dude. Like, because Ulysses Claw, they blow up the door, it flies and breaks some shit.
Yep.
And Hank Pym turns around and looks at him. He legit says to the villains, he's like, guys, the door wasn't even locked. You could have just walked in.
I would have shot him. Never mind. I would have shot Hank. I would have shot him for even attempting to say that shit.
He was like, y'all could have just walked in.
Boom. Right to the head. It's like, what? Hank, it's really serious right now. I don't think you realize what's happening.
So,
what the fuck, Hank? Really?
They walk in, they kind of intimidate him. Ulysses Claw try to intimidate him.
Right.
Ulysses Claw reaches around, grabs the vibranium, and Hank's like, look, if you guys want to talk about this, you're going to have to schedule an appointment with...
Listen here, out of everybody from Iron Man to Thor, he's literally trying to... What?
He's like, y'all are going to have to schedule an appointment with Jane. We'll be able to meet up and...
Like, what the fuck? Man, dude.
I like this.
Yeah, I know.
You're shitting on it.
I know.
I think it's funny.
It is funny.
It's him not giving a shit. It's him actually being more ballsy than he is later on. Ralph is legit taking his hate for this character from later on and applying it here.
I'm sorry.
It's unfair.
I know.
Ralph might not be back next week.
That's it.
Anyways.
I try.
Yeah, I forgot where we're at. So, Ant-Man shrinks small. So what happens is they grab him from behind.
Right.
And he shrinks small. And I actually loved this sequence.
This is the moment.
They're looking for him, and they can't find him. And then all of a sudden, you see one dude his teeth get dislodged, and he flies back. And at this point, they still don't actually show Ant-Man.
Right.
They just show dude get punched like he's been hit by a ghost.
Right. Because first they were like, oh, it's okay. Then boom. It's like, it was like a clear injection. Like, he got knocked the fuck out. And
then there's a few other guys, and then all of a sudden, you see Hank again jump in to punch another dude. And this time, they actually zoom in to show what he's doing.
Yeah.
And he punches dude.
But it's so fast. It's like boom, or like version, it just knocks him out.
Right. They lay him out,
and they just start shooting.
And all of a sudden, they just start shooting.
Fuck this shit, yo! Cause that's like, fuck this shit, bro. We gonna just shoot, see what happens.
And then Claw comes in. He's like, "That's okay. I've got something wherever you are." And he'd taken a piece of that piece of vibranium, stuck it in this like supersonic wave gun.
Right, like a blaster.
And he just starts waving the gun wave gunning through the lab.
That's one way to do it.
And now he doesn't realize he's actually really on Ant-Man's ass.
Yeah, he's on. Yeah,
and Ant-Man's booking it.
He's like running. Yeah, he's running.
And then all of a sudden, Ant-Man is about to dive out to hit him, and he just happens to turn just in time, which is very cliche, by the way, to hit Ant-Man with the supersonic blast. It blasts him into the wall. And this is, again, to be honest, I love the first half of this episode.
Yeah, no, like
the first half of this episode was solid.
Solid. There it is. Yeah, it was. It was solid.
And there's, again, we'll get there.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to hold back.
So then he crawls himself back.
It's like a button
and
he's trying to hit.
He hits this button, and you don't know what happens at first.
Right. It's just,
There's this bright flash of light.
Right.
And then all of a sudden,
we're leaving.
Everything's calm, and Ulysses Claw, and he's like, "Come on, guys, we're gonna bounce."
Right.
And then they walk out the front door, and you realize the grass is so much taller than them, and there's somebody's foot right in front of their face, but it looks like almost like a skyscraper. It feels like not that bad.
Right.
But it's big, and they're like, "What the? What just happened?"
And going back before Ulysses Claw even showed up, remember they shot those goons. I guess they were SHIELD agents. They shot them. So we have murder, guys.
Yeah, we do have murder.
And that's where they bumped into were the people that they hit. And I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, we never left the scene.
But this part was cool because I was like, whoa. He just shrunk.
He shrunk the face.
Villains.
He did.
That's really cool.
He did what Ant-Man and Wasp did in the movie, where he shrunk the building and caught it up like that. Shrunk the building itself. Yep.
So then Ant-Man comes floating up on one of his flying ants, and he's like, "Now you know what it's like to be me."
You gonna surrender?
And he's like, are you gonna surrender? And Claw's like, no, and he's like trying to get the gun out.
Evil generic villain. I will never surrender.
So he punches him, and every punch, even though they're small, every punch is causing Claw to have to backflip on the ground.
Yeah, because the punch is like a vibration. It's just boom. It's like, whoa, he's feeling it.
So then finally, Claw reaches over and grabs the gun, and Ant-Man runs in like he's gonna swing in and punch, and
He went from small to normal sizes.
Well, yeah, so Claw hits him with the Sonic thing, and he plants his foot, and all of a sudden you see him start to grow, and as he's growing, he uppercuts him.
Right. That was...
And because he got so big that the supersonic gun couldn't stop him.
Right.
And,
that uppercut was deadly, bro.
Yeah.
He went...
And then this is where the episode starts to go downhill. There's a reason. Let me get there.
Oh, shit.
So...
Uh-oh.
After he kicks their ass, Wasp shows up to check on Hank. And now Hank, instead of like calling for help or saying, hey, S.H.I.E.L.D., some shit happened.
Yeah.
Like, he's just back to inspecting his thing. Everyone's laid out outside. Wasp comes in.
There's some goons outside and one shrunk or something. Can you go take care of them? I'm like, damn. Like, okay.
Right. He's like, can you go save him before the ants eat him?
Right.
Which I thought was funny as hell.
Because, yeah, they will eat you.
And then this episode that we start to dislike him. Because then things change. So
it was so good.
Then we fast forward to what is present day. We get this nice pan, which is there's another reference here that I thought was really cool, and it's somebody's reading a newspaper.
Right. Yeah.
And on the newspaper, it says someone keeps punishing.
Right. Punishing
people or something, and it has the big Punisher skull.
I saw that. Yeah, I like.
And
that.
I was like, I like that.
My guys, this is my type of show.
I love the little Easter eggs.
Little Easter eggs, just little hints. I like it, man.
We see Wasp and Hank
yeah.
having kind of a flyby conversation that has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah,
I think she's kind of talking about he works too much or something like that.
Right.
And she happens to look outside and she sees this tornado come out of a lab. This little mini tornado come out of a lab.
Mini tornado.
And kind of start taking off. And mid-conversation, like you see Hank still talking.
Yeah, because they're like in an apartment or something, or like or an office, and he's like, "Man, you gotta like these ants. They're so great." And
he's checking he's like DNA mapping.
He's really in it. Like,
he's DNA mapping.
Right, DNA mapping
the ants, and he's so excited about this. Wasp was like, "You're really boring."
Right, literally, no, for just stuck in that order.
Right,
and then she sees that happen, and then
so she sees this dude come out. And as he's talking, he's like,
her
wouldn't you think so, Wasp? And as he turns, or he says, Jan. He says, wouldn't you think so, Jan? And as he turns around, her clothes are laying across
the window.
The windowsill. The window's open and she's gone.
She's gone. What the fuck?
Now, this is one thing I have noticed about Wasp that I dislike. Have you noticed she barely walks at all in this entire series so far?
Yeah, she barely walks. Yeah,
you barely see her on her feet unless she's just standing still.
Yeah, I don't know why she can't walk.
She flies everywhere.
That's kind of weird.
And the only way she can fly is when she shrinks. So she's almost always just like shrink, fly around, grow, stand, shrink, fly around.
At least in the MCU, at least they did have her walk. Damn, like she did have her. No, I'm just gonna fly. Why? You can't have your legs hurt.
So Wasp has gone to confront Whirlwind. Who is just casually tornadoing through traffic.
Like a boss. No, that's a boss.
He's like weaving in and out of cars.
Cars are flying. Hey, that's what. You want to get through work? Get the fuck out the way.
So Wasp starts to chase him down. She shoots at him a couple times. She misses.
What is that?
She misses completely.
Oh yeah, first.
She never hit.
Yes, she hit.
But it catches his attention, and he swings back around and comes up straight to her, and then stops, and is looking at her dead in her face. And he goes, "Are you shooting at me?
Are you shooting at me? Like, what is this?"
And she kind of looks at him. He's like, she'd responded smartass somehow.
Yeah, it was like a very smartass comment.
It was a very smartass comment. He's like, "You're gonna pay for that."
Oh, he's like,
so here we've got
villain again.
Here we've got Hank Pym, who is nerdy, and then we've got Whirlwind, who sounds nerdy.
He said, "You're gonna pay for it. You know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch."
Right. They fight,
and the fight was okay. Yeah.
And this is where she flies in and shoots a spark in his eye.
Spark in his eye, yep.
And his eye gets a black eye, and he actually keeps it for the rest of the episode. And I actually, on my second time watching through this episode, that is literally, at this moment, that is the one thing I paid attention to, is to see how long he was going to have it, because usually cartoons, something like that will happen.
Yeah, they'll
and then like 3 minutes later, it's gone.
Right, no, they make sure that eye was
he had it the entire episode. And I was like, okay, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Because he like, boom, he's like, my eye. It's like, my eye, you got me.
Wasp also cracks jokes at this time, which is hilarious.
Yeah, Wasp is like funny.
He's
I'm
like,
sorry.
Between her, Tony, and Thor, I'm gonna love this show.
Yeah.
He's like, you could blend large drinks or cool people off.
That was hilarious. She said you can just you can be like not this, like you can be something else, and he got pissed.
So then all of a sudden you see this huge cloud of like, it looks like dust, but it's moving dust coming in, and she's like, "What's that?" And then all of a sudden Whirlwind turns and looks, and he gets like sucked into it.
He's like, He's like,
and so what? It's a cloud of ants.
He's like, he's swatting them.
And Ant-Man flies up to Wasp, who's also floating at the time.
And he's just so...
And this is where I start to dislike you.
Like, he's like, oh, they're this ants. That's why they can do that. I'm like, bro.
Because
she's doing this.
She's like, did so-and-so, or did this thing tell you? He's like, actually, no, the termite came over and told me that this was going on. Which, that part was funny.
Yeah, it was funny. Yeah.
But then he spends the next, 3 to 4 minutes trying to convince her to not fight, to let the authorities do it.
And I get it. You're peace-loving. But damn, bro. Jeez.
And she's like, this is what I want to do. Like, don't you want to help people? And he's like, no. And she's like,
no. I get that gentleman. He really don't want to help people. He just wants to be.
He's like, science. He says science helps people.
Science helps people. And they're having this argument, and I'm like, bro.
And so then he tries to tell her that she's not trained enough to be able to do this. And at this point, she grows big and sits on the hood of a car. And she's just sitting there.
Yeah. And
all of a sudden, Whirlwind is like, all right.
I'm done.
I'm done playing.
Triple spin thingies.
He starts flinging blades.
And
then she shrinks. Or no, because actually she was still shrunk. And he starts slinging the blades. And she's like dodging and weaving. She's not moving forward.
No.
But she's bouncing back and forth, breaking a couple of the blades.
Yep.
And then finally, she grows big, sits on the hood of the car. He runs up to hit her, and she just sticks her hand in his face.
Yep.
Blasts. And he's out.
He's out. He was like generic villain 1-on-1. Boom.
And
done.
Hank kind of was like, oh.
Wow. Really, Hank? That was your impression? Oh. Like, Hank, you can do this too, bro. Oh. Okay.
We then see Whirlwind being carried by what looks like a couple of Ultrons.
Yeah, that was interesting. Ultron's like, okay.
Which, there are more references in future episodes of Ultron, but they haven't reached that arc yet.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they will get there.
Yeah.
They're definitely leading into it.
Right, because and these Ultrons are like, you gotta calm down. And it sounds like him. It sounds like Hank Pym. It's like Ultron Hank Pym. You gotta calm down.
Yeah, well,
let's talk about
it. He starts tripping. He's like, how are you? He's like, how come nobody's breaking out? And
he's like, do you know where you are?
He ends up destroying these robots.
And they're trying to tell him, like, are you having aggression? Let's talk it out. What? Like, what's up with these robots, bro?
Right. So then finally he destroys these robots and he looks at the guys and he's like, why are you just sitting here? And there's this dude, I don't even know what his name is. He's in a cell.
Yeah, he's like,
I've thought of 15 ways to escape.
I think he's the thinker, I think. That's the thinker. Yeah.
I thought the thinker was the dude with the really long head that spoke really...
No, I thought that was the leader.
Or leader, that's the leader.
Yeah, the thinker was the guy. He's bald, but he put like a wig on, and he said, bro, you gotta calm, because he was like raging. He's like, can you like shut up? Like,
sorry guys, I don't know my Hulk villains.
No, it's cool. But he's like, bro, there'll be a time and a place when this happens, because he was like, well, before he did that, he was trying to get out, and then
that hadn't happened yet.
Oh, I thought, okay.
No, Thinker was talking to him.
Okay. I thought he tried to get out, and then like Hank like put him down, like, bro, like you're actually you're short, like you've been shrunk, like.
Right. Well, he does do that.
Right.
But I'm saying Thinker has this conversation with him. He's like, I thought of 12 ways to get out.
Right.
But it's not necessary. And then all of a sudden, you see Whirlwind start to get mad because he's like, nah, forget that. I'm getting out of here. And all of a sudden,
get the little thing off his neck or something.
Right. And then all of a sudden, you see this big ass finger come through.
Like a big ass bam.
Come through the roof.
He's just like,
and you kind of just see Ant-Man from the top, like down.
Right.
And then he says something, and then they zoom back, and this is where you actually realize the big house is actually a miniature prison where they shrink. No, that's the third. That's one of the three.
One of the three. My bad.
And it's where they shrink villains that just have special powers.
How the hell? That's crazy.
And put them in here. That's how they. And the Ultron robots are what keeps them in line.
Right. That's so weird. Like, to me, like, so You gotta be doing like during transition, like, oh, we shrunk.
And the big house is actually located on S.H.I.E.L.D.'s base.
On S.H.I.E.L.D.'s base. That is
S.H.I.E.L.D.'s helicarrier.
Helicarrier. But that's crazy. Like, so say you're like a prisoner, you're going to the big house. You're like, you didn't know you shrunk.
Right.
That is crazy as fuck, bro. That is actually kind of scary. Actually, you didn't know you shrunk. But yeah. And then that's when he's thinking next to the prison cell. He's like, yo, there's a time and a place when it happens and all that.
Yeah, and then Pym goes in this whole fucking thing where, like, so Wasp is offered a job with S.H.I.E.L.D. This is apparently, because again, this is going back in the past before the first couple episodes.
This was like kind of like okay, wait.
So he kind of like jokingly was like, you guys should join S.H.I.E.L.D. And Wasp was like, yeah. And then, Pym was like, nah. And then Pym actually gets kind of mad. He's like, we need to rehabilitate these guys, not just lock them away.
Yeah,
this isn't doing anything.
Right.
And this is where Nick Fury was just kind of like, shut the fuck up.
Literally, Nick Fury did not give no fucks. He didn't give a damn. Poor Hank. I get it. Hank is like the peace-loving
Hank
dude.
is the biggest humanitarian
ever. And you're in the wrong...
You're in the wrong world.
You're in the wrong field. You're wrong everything. Because he's working for S.H.I.E.L.D. Ain't that a bitch? You're in the wrong field, man.
And then this is where the episode starts to plummet.
Yeah, I got it.
Like, this part was kind of cool. I got it.
Yeah.
And then this is what really dragged the episode down for me.
This
all of a sudden,
we go to Wakanda. Fuck me.
And we meet the Black Panther. And of course, all of us who watch the movies know T'Challa is currently the Black Panther.
Right, this is like his father.
But this is actually T'Chaka.
T'Chaka, his father fighting Man-Ape.
And his father ends up fighting
M'Baku. Right.
Which was the fight that they got in the original movie.
Right.
Except it was T'Challa fighting him.
He's like, face me, face the Man-Ape. He was doing all the beating on his chest.
Yeah, he's doing this like beating on his chest, face the Man-Ape.
He's making like the actual gorilla noise and shit. Like, it's crazy.
Right. And honestly, Panther starts to whoop his ass.
Beat the shit out of him. Beat the cold-blooded.
And T'Challa doesn't think he should fight him. Because the Ape Clan or whatever they're called are not supposed to even, like, they've been exiled.
Right.
They're not supposed to be there.
And he's like, well, this is the law of rule. I said, damn.
So T'Challa doesn't think he should even honor the fight because they're exiled and not a part of the thing.
He didn't have to fight him, right? That's crazy.
But that's just not T'Chaka. T'Chaka is he still holds to the laws. If somebody comes and challenges me for my throne, I'm gonna fight him for it.
Right.
He ends up at first beating the hell out of M'Baku.
Then he mocks him. He's like, your clan was exiled. Don't you ever he mocks him to death, bro.
Then all of a sudden, you saw these waves kind of come out of nowhere.
Wavelengths happen.
And you see Panther grab his head, and he's getting like this head.
And what I don't get is how come nobody's, I guess because it's just him that's hearing it. Because I'm like, is nobody not seeing him, like, actually, like.
So.
That's kind of weird.
Seeing them go, they only do that so we know that it's happening.
Right, okay.
Those waves that you're seeing aren't actually there.
Okay. I thought they were actually there. 'Cause I'm like,
they're drawn in, so we know that they're there, but nobody else there sees that.
But my thing is, though, when he was doing all this, so nobody didn't really notice.
I don't think you can't interfere in a fight.
So they just let it happen. Okay, because I'm like, bro, like I was like, y'all ain't. I think even the son really started kind of like,
right.
And the dude's like, no, you can't interfere. I'm like, do you see how he's in pain? Like something's happening.
Now we all know that's Claw.
Right. Yeah, that's his Claw. Yeah, doing his.
They don't show him until towards the end of the episode, but we all know.
Yeah.
M'Baku pretty much tells T'Chaka, he's like, I want to kill you.
Yeah, I want to kill you.
So then he does.
Yeah, that was.
And then T'Challa dips the fuck out. He's like, nah, fuck
this. Because everybody
were
bowing down. They were bowing down like, to your new king. And he just said,
yeah, he's like, I ain't bound shit. I'm going.
Right. Fuck this shit. I'm out. He went, deuces. He did a creep like Chris Brown, deuces. Like, I'm not saying it.
We kind of move to the vibranium mines,
right?
And this is where we find that
his own little
M'Baku paid Claw,
right?
And his payment is basically he gets to go into the mine and take as much of the vibranium as he wants.
Wow, and I can't
as payment. And then we see T'Challa watching Wakanda from outside, dressed as the Black Panther himself now.
Right, because he went to like before when he ran, he found it like in some tower, like a Black Panther little tower room area, and it's like some it's different from his father's though.
And that's how the episode ends.
And he's even like.
And
that.
like I said, here's my problem.
That should have been its own episode.
Here's my problem. Black Panther is too important of a character to have his story tacked on to the end of another person's story.
Yeah, that's it. It should have been his own.
He should have had his own
like
episode.
Everybody else did. I don't understand. Like, that is kind of weird.
That bothers me. And then on top of it, honestly, they killed T'Chaka off in a very shitty and boring and stupid way.
Nothing. I mean, I know. I guess somebody would have watched him and something. But I was like, he should have beat this dude's ass. Done. Move on. But nope. It's.
Well, he has to die.
Yeah, I know he has to die, but I'm like, it's just how he
having
dies.
Claw interfere with the stupid Sonic machine and my head.
Oh God.
Come on.
Yeah, that was a bad.
Come on.
Yeah.
Which is why I gave this episode a 7 out of 10.
What I give it? It was like 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's
three more episodes, y'all.
This was the worst one.
We've actually been going for 50 minutes.
We're over 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Those
last couple episodes took a minute.
Yeah.
All right, episode 8. We're back to present day finally. We start off. We see that stupid monkey dude. I don't even know his name. He's some sort of monkey.
And he's one of the 73 villains that are out.
He's 74.
74 villains that are out.
He's because they had recaught Graviton.
Right.
There was 75. They recaught Graviton. That leaves 74.
And his power was like because the police woman showed up. And
here's my problem. First off, the monkey looks like Mojo Jojo.
He does. Love Powerpuff Girls. Shout out to Powerpuff Girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he is the most easily defeated supervillain I have ever seen the Avengers come across because he's so big and bad too. He starts talking shit to the Wasp because the Wasp is the first one that shows up.
You think you're gonna stop me? I will squash you.
He's like,
right. He's doing all this monkey shit. He's like, I will squash. And then you hear,
and then all of a sudden,
all show up.
You hear the, which is Iron Man flying in.
Right. And
he's like, doesn't matter. I'll still beat you.
And then you hear like Thor.
And then all of a sudden you hear the thunder crack. Thor lands down behind him.
He's done one of these like what's like somebody's father.
And
like,
Thor, well no, because Thor lands and he's like swinging his hammer.
Oh yeah, he's swinging. He's ready to throw that bitch. He's ready to throw it.
And he's like he says something Thor like, and then all of a sudden the monkey dude starts to back up and he bumps into Hulk, who is standing there like this.
Like what's happening?
Yeah, he's got his arms crossed.
Like, I surrender.
He's like, I surrender, and it's over.
It's over. Oh man, at least the 4 goons kind of put up a battle. I'm out.
70-something more to go. All right. So then it fast forwards to a little bit further in time where I guess Tony had told everyone that he wants them to meet up at a certain spot.
Oh yeah,
this little part was funny.
This is badass.
So like Hulk's the only one there with Pepper.
Oh
and she's like, "Thank you so much for showing up on time."
On time.
And then all of a sudden, was it Wasp or Hulk that showed up next?
I thought it was Iron. No,
I think
last. No.
I think Wasp shows up,
and
she's like, "Sorry, I'm late. This, and this happened." And then Thor shows up.
He said, "You gotta go out."
And he says something about I wasn't sure what time it was. And Hulk says something like, "You need to buy a watch."
See, I already knew this was about to be a bad idea. And Thor looked at him so cross-eyed, like, "What? You heard him what he said? He said, buy a watch, bitch."
Right.
You understand what he just said?
So Hulk is already in a bad mood.
He's already pissed because he's the only one there out of everybody. He showed up.
Iron Man finally shows up and he's like, "Look, I was late to my meetings."
And I late to my meetings.
He's like, "Oh, I was late to my meetings."
Oh fuck. That's crazy.
So then
Hulk was still pissed.
He's like, "This is
something."
No, he didn't throw something.
No, he broke something.
They said this is Avengers Mansion. He's like, if you scan the badge here, and all of a sudden Hulk punches the gate, and the gate opens up.
Oh my god.
And he's like, "This is stupid."
This is stupid. He was already. Why was he? I guess he showed up late. I was like, why are you in a bad mood? God damn.
Right. So then Hulk starts having visions.
Oh, this is
of the Bruce side of him again, except this time they're a little different.
Yeah.
A little different.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah.
And they're telling him that the team's only using him and will capture him when he's done. And what we end up finding out is Hulk is actually not having visions of himself.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's Enchantress. She's broken into ladies and gentlemen. The Avengers Mansion has been around for 1 day and has already been infiltrated once.
Wait, goddamn, where's this?
Wait till next episode.
Wow.
So.
And then you see Bruce Banner like, "It's not me." He's like literally screaming chains.
Well, that was later.
Oh, that was later.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, at this point, we actually don't know it's Enchantress. It's just Bruce's voice.
Bruce's voice.
Telling him.
Saying, they think of you as a monster. I'm like, oh, this is going to get interesting. Here we go.
We then come to find out, like a bunch of stuff happens. They get walked around this mansion. They're shown around the training rooms.
Yeah, which I thought that was cool.
The training room.
They had their own little X-Men simulation room. He said, simulation room. And then he breaks the... He said, these are repairable.
Like, he's like, they're repairable. This is level 1 of 10.
Of 10. And the Wasp was like, what?
Right. She got her ass beat in the beginning. It was great.
Yeah, it was just... Well, she was like breathing heavy.
She caught like 5 missiles to the ass.
Right. She's like, oh my God. Boom, boom.
She's like trying to fly away. It's not helping.
Poor Wasp. She just wants to...
Dude, she gets squished and slapped and double clapped so many times in this fucking series.
She really does. She gets her ass beat, bro. And she still wants to be in a... And she's still so happy. She's so fucking happy. Like, I'm here. I'm like...
Hulk has a breakdown moment later on where he's sitting on the edge of the bed and his reflection's talking back to him, which is as Bruce. And then all of a sudden, which is supposed to be right before commercial break, you actually see Banner wrapped in chains going, Hulk, it's not me.
Right.
Tell the others I need help.
Right. Because he didn't bump into Thor yet and said, like, do you want to meet my steel?
Not yet.
Okay.
So at this point, Hulk gets up, and he actually walks into the room that Thor is in, but before they have their conversation, Hulk sees his reflection as Banner again in the mirror. Or it's on the way. It was either like, I think it was just outside the room.
Yeah, it's like he's trying to mock you or something. Yeah.
Yeah. And the voice is telling him, like, oh, he's mocking you, he's doing this.
And Thor's just being Thor, bro. He don't care.
And then as you see Hulk walk forward 3 or 4 steps, you see Bruce's image turn into Enchantress. And this is the first time you really know for sure. I mean, we knew she was there.
Yeah, but this time you actually see her really.
But this is the first time you see her that she is the one doing this.
Right, you see fully her.
And he pretty much tells, like, him and Thor have this little bickering back and forth.
Hey, I was ready for this fight. I was like, hey, here we go. He said, you want to meet this steel? Come bring it. I'm like, oh, shit.
Right.
We're going to tear the tower down. That's it. Cut to the tower is now destroyed.
You are fast forwarding through this episode. There's so many other things that happen. They also pan to a conversation between Wasp and Pym. And Wasp is like, I'm moving into the mansion. Yes. Like, she's excited about it.
Even though she's getting her ass kicked constantly, she's totally happy and down with.
And Pym's like, you've got a penthouse loft in downtown, and she's like, I don't care.
I don't give a shit about that. I'm like, see, I like watch all this whole series.
I think
she wants to do better.
Pym is going to be one of those characters that will grow on us and get better as it goes. I just think it's right now. He's very, I don't want to help. I don't want to fight. I don't want to do this.
I just want to look at my ants all day.
I want to sit here and look at my insects. It's like, have sex with yourself because, like, we're done with you.
Right. I'm done with you. I want to be an Avenger. She literally said, I want to be an Avenger. And he don't want to do it. I don't get it, man.
It goes back to Thor and Hulk having their argument. And finally Hulk's like, you know what? I quit. Tell the others I'm done. I quit.
Yeah, Hulk said I quit.
And he walks out. And Thor's just kind of like, good riddance. And then Pepper comes up on the screen.
Hey, that's some Thor shit. That's something I was good riddance, motherfucker. Like,
right.
Hey, if you don't be here, the fuck?
All of a sudden, Pepper pops up on the screen. She's like, she's like, Jarvis just told me that Hulk walked out. I need you to go get him. And he's like,
liability.
He's like, why do you bother? And she's like, he's our responsibility.
And
he's like, fine.
Because you already know what that means.
Meanwhile, Nick Fury is telling Tony that he wants the Avengers to succeed.
Yeah, he wants them to succeed.
He says, and Tony doesn't. And Tony goes, you almost had me believe. You almost had me believe.
Yeah. We didn't really from day one. Nick Fury was just secretive, classified information and stuff. So,
Hulk and Thor start fighting in Central Park. And then that's when Potts walks in and tells Tony, she's like, hey, we've got a big green problem with Central Park.
He said, he's your thing, and Nick said, he's your thing, deal with it.
Nick says, he's your problem, deal with it.
Like, damn, what?
And then I was thinking to myself, you're not his boss. Get all the way the fuck off his back. Go back to your little helicarrier. He's not I do not like Nick Fury in this series.
Yeah, no, he's bad. He
is a conniving twat.
And he's not telling nothing.
Well, he's not supposed to. I get that.
Yeah, okay. But to be this an asshole.
But he's an asshole.
Yeah. I never. And then again, like I said, we've been around.
And not even an entertaining asshole like Samuel L. Jackson entertaining.
At least Jackson's entertaining. He's just like, I don't like you. And then we'll get more of that too on the other episodes of that too, like on why Nick Fury is that asshole. Like what?
So the Avengers assemble.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He said it's like it's morphin time. Avengers assemble, and they just hear it. They hear it. That's
right.
I glad that was kind of badass. And they all hear it.
During the fight, Tony realizes Hulk has some sort of weird energy around his head.
Yep.
And then
some magical energy that's connected to your thumb and hammer.
And then notices that it's the same energy that is surrounding Thor's hammer.
And then that's when he was like, put 2 plus 2 is 4.
And Thor's like, he's been enchanted.
Right, by dark magic or something. Like, yeah. That's interesting.
So
how the hell? I guess Iron Man got that type of technology. He can see that. I'm like, I didn't think he could see type magic like going off. Okay, yeah.
Iron Man has anything that the plot needs him to have.
That's why we love Iron Man, because of the fucking plot.
He's the Batman of the MCU.
Yeah,
you guys can sit here and fight and be like, no, so and so's the Batman. No,
Iron Man.
Okay, Iron Man
how
is.
How the hell can you? See?
Iron Man is the Batman of the.
You got some sort of
Marvel.
magical energy to the really. You 2 plus 2 is 4. You really got that? Okay, fine. I'll go with that. Bet.
So,
bet.
Hulk ends up after a short fight. Hulk ends up breaking out of the trance.
Yeah, he broke out of the trance. He was going
because he was about to kill Wasp. Like he'd clapped and caught her, and then he'd seen her, and she was like passed out in his hand, and he was about to like punch into
his own hand.
And then all of a sudden, that's when it broke, and he realized what he was doing was wrong.
Right.
So he lays her down. And he leaves. He takes his ball and goes home. He feels bad. Like, he
just sat somewhere.
He doesn't realize that it wasn't him doing that.
Right, but he's just too... But see, that's what makes him more angry at himself, because he's like, damn. That's why this really was kind of like a Hulk episode in a way, because this 2 Hulk episode, hello, bingo. But yeah, he really just sat down somewhere. Like, he just wasn't feeling it, man.
So, as Hulk bounces...
Yeah, he bounced.
Enchantress and Executioner attack him.
Bro, and let me...
The Avengers, not Hulk.
Let me tell you, because it caught me... It made me jump a little bit, because I was like... Because Iron Man was like... So, was it... Bam! I'm like, oh my God, what happened? Did Iron Man just get skewered? What the fuck happened?
Now, this is a time where I really wonder why MCU does some of the things that they do.
Right.
Because Executioner in Thor Ragnarok was a bitch.
Yeah, he was a bitch. This Executioner here was more...
Like, if I could compare... animated or comic Executioner to MCU, it would be the same comparison of like comic or animated series Bane to Batman and Robin.
To Batman and Robin. That's funny.
Legit.
Legit.
Okay? Because they took a character who in legit animated and comic stories is a badass.
Right.
And made him a mindless idiot.
And that's why I said...
And that's both cases, MCU and DC.
Right, because the Executioner, I mean, it threw me off, because, like, Iron Man was like, okay, glad that's over. He went, wham, right on... I thought he cut him. Because you can hear Tony Stark say, when he went down. I was like, oh my God, he got him. I'm like, we are really showing this in a kid's cartoon? Damn, he got skewered, bro. He got cut. Deep.
After that... Hulk is sitting in an alleyway, and his reflection comes back.
Yeah,
Bruce
comes back,
and Bruce is like, "You need to go back and make sure they're okay."
Yeah, because Bruce broke the thing. Because
here's the thing: Bruce definitely doesn't know they're being attacked, but this is Bruce being like, "You need to make sure they're okay. Like you just whooped their ass." This is what this conversation was. In short, he's like, "You need to make sure they're okay."
Because you just beat the shit out of them.
Like you beat the hell out of them and then left them.
Please make sure they're not dead. Because it was Bruce Banner yelling because he was getting ready to smash, like when you say smash Wasp, Bruce Banner literally said no and boom, broke the spell, and that's the point. But yeah, inner demons, man. It was really just whole inner demons, man. Just throughout the whole entire episode, to be honest.
Hulk shows up just in time.
Because Executioner was going to get him again.
The Executioner was about to chop off Tony's head.
Right, because Tony was like, yo, drivers, can you give me some more? Like, you were leaking oil literally out of your suit. What's
really cool is, so after Hulk shows up, some people have some of their holes broken. Like, they break free of some of their holes because, like, Enchantress has Thor wrapped up in some sort of weird mist
some weird little thing, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Thor jumps up and he starts swinging his hammer.
Right.
And all of a sudden, he he lands as lightning strikes, and Enchantress is like, I'm not afraid of your thunder.
Yeah, of your thunder.
And he goes, you weren't my target, witch. And then all of a sudden, you see Iron Man stand up.
He didn't
have any power.
He had to get recharged. Yeah.
So you see Iron Man stand up, and it goes, suit reserves 209%.
That was. You know what's funny? That was for me. That was called back at the first Avenger when he blasted him, and he's like, "Oh, you gave me an extra boost." Like he can't got him back. Like yeah, I like that. Cause you're like a lightning, you're big, you're thunder, you're pretty much a bolt, man.
In the end, they end up stopping Enchantress and Executioner.
Right.
Executioner comes up out of nowhere, knocks them away, grabs Enchantress, uses his axe to cut like a hole in
weird,
space.
Like, it was like his own high note opened the gate to the Bifrost. Like he had his own little open portal. Which
he steps in, they're gone. Hulk leaves the team any damn ways.
Yeah, and then
he's like, "You guys think I'm a monster? You were going to stop me,
right? And
I don't need this."
He still bolts, and then you hear Tony. He's like, "Well, that for day one."
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job, guys.
And then we see Black Panther watching from the distance.
Oh shit! From a distance, just like right there.
The episode ends with Hulk in the Antarctic, screaming and jumping around, throwing a temper tantrum.
Yeah, that's really what it was. A temper tantrum.
And the camera pans as he jumps and runs and screams.
You see the shield.
And you see Captain America's shield in the ice. And I'm like, here we go.
Here we go. So this is the next episode we're going to get with him. He's in it.
Now, episode 8.
Which this was actually smart because really they were trying to find, Hulk in his...
I gave this episode an 8 out of 10.
And then, for this episode, I gave it a 9.
You did.
Yeah, it was good.
It was a very solid episode.
Because it was Hulk battling demons still. I mean, and I get it. Like, he's a monster. I understand. But, like, that whole... They're not going to trust you. Because he's still going... I mean, at the end of the day, could you still blame him, though? Damn, you still thought of him as a monster.
Right.
I mean, so at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, it just makes sense. And then we got Black Panther. Oh, no, let me stop.
Right.
Black Panther.
Hi, T'Challa.
Listen, yeah.
This
Holy
is
shit,
this
dude.
is another decent episode. All right, this episode is called Living Legend.
That is a good title.
Wonder why.
That was a good title. I give that title a good one. They get some good ones. Some of them corny.
All right, so at the start of this episode, we see our heroes in the Antarctic looking for Hulk.
Right, because they're throwing temper tantrum. This was actually a smart way how to bring. Yeah, that was smart. Yeah.
And
they're asking people.
They asked this group. They're like, "Hey, do you see a big green?"
They point it.
And they point immediately. They cut him off mid sentence.
Like,
and
okay.
He's like, okay. They go to this huge crater. You could tell, and I think Thor was was it Thor or was it?
I thought it was Iron Man.
No. It was Hank Pym.
Hank
Pym says, "No, this is definitely where Hulk was throwing a temper tantrum."
Right.
Because you see all this ice pushed up.
Just pushed in.
And then Wasp tries to say something like,
she's like, I'm flying a jet!
Well, no.
No.
I didn't even know. I wasn't even going to bring up that joke. It's a stupid joke. So, then Wasp says something along the lines of like, man, we need to use our senses to try and find something. See if you can see or hear anything.
Oh, God.
And then all of a sudden, Iron Man looks over and scans. And he's like, there's a faint energy reading over there. And she looks at him. He's like... How did he word it? It was so smart ass to Wasp.
Right, because he's like...
He was like, oh man, it's a good thing I seen and smelt it.
Or
something like that.
But you gotta love Wasp's enthusiasm. Even though she got her ass kicked over and over. That's why I liked it when she said, I'm flying a jet. He said it's on autopilot. I just thought that was funny because Tony started clapping. He said, I thought it was funny because Tony started to... He said, oh, look at the... No, bitch, calm down. You are on autopilot, bro.
You are not flying.
You are not flying this $1 million thing. No, you're not. She just felt so... She's like, damn. Oh, God.
And they end up finding Cap.
Yep. Yeah.
So I guess we're trading Hulk for Cap for now. Anyways,
okay,
well, we don't see Hulk at all.
No, at all. Well, because Hulk already bolted.
For the next 2 episodes. We haven't seen it. Like, I stopped at episode 10. I didn't watch past it.
Yeah, I don't watch past it either.
And I won't until after MODOK's done.
Yep.
So then... They pick Cap up. They take him back onto the ship. They unthaw him.
And he's just waking up.
He wakes up.
And this is about to be the most badass scene ever.
And he freaks out and starts fighting the Avengers.
Bro, he's 1v5?
And he's whooping their ass. Now, granted, they are holding back because they're trying to be like, yo, chill's probably a bad word, but calm down.
He kept saying, "Where your friend?" He went, he said, "What the fuck?" He said, "Miss, I don't do Hydra." I said, "Oh no," even though I know they were holding back. Hey, that's what you're supposed to do. You wake up, you got 5 or 6 strangers. What the bro? I am fighting. Everybody's getting clapped today. Where was the Hulk when you need him? Because he was beating everybody's asses.
It cuts over Black Panther's breaking into the mansion because everybody breaks into this fucking mansion. They need a new mansion.
They really
They
do.
need security.
And then you hear Jarvis. There seems to be somebody. Yes, Jarvis. Thank you. Yeah,
that happens later.
Oh.
He breaks into the mansion, accesses their little villain computer.
Right.
And then it cuts back. Cap ends up escaping the little ship.
Right.
That they were flying. He jumps the fuck out.
Yeah. She just both. Is he letting out I wish someone. He left it out of parachute. That is.
To be fair, though, he was jumping in the water.
He's jumping in the water, though. Hey, but that's some Cap shit.
Did you notice he's actually got the same rips in the costume that he had at the end of
he was all,
that one episode?
Yeah.
Again, attention to detail.
Yeah.
I like it.
They never changed, because they could have just changed it up, but no, he still got the cuts and bruises and all that, and he just bolted.
So he swims to the shore of the Statue of Liberty. And then the Avengers come and they're like, "Dude, you need to relax." And he just continues whooping their asses.
That's it. He just continues to keep.
And then finally, Wasp comes up out of nowhere and zaps him in the head, and he turns around angrily and stops. And she's like, "Look, I need you to listen." He says, "Ma'am, when dealing with Hydra, I don't listen. I just fight." And she's like, "Okay, if you're not gonna listen, then I need you to look at something for me."
Right, because Thor came down with the hammer. He said, and remember that was called back to Avengers, because remember, his shield is vibranium, so boom, it was able to withstand. He got shot. He said, "Huh? What?" And he just threw him. Like, you're doing right in the Iron Man. Like, bro, like, I'm good.
He's like going into details of the fights. I don't care about the detail that much.
I like detail fights. Those are fun.
So she drags him up to where the memorial statue is the end of Cap and Bucky.
Right. And he just, he had a moment. Yeah,
he realizes things are not as he thought.
Right, because they said, "I'm dead." I'm like, "But I'm right here."
We then see Zemo entering into Hydra's base, threatens Baron von Strucker, Reaper attacks Zemo, Zemo whoops his ass.
Yeah, Baron Strucker, he just was weak.
That's when Hydra comes in.
He's like, Strucker.
Yeah. Hydra agent comes in, tells them that Cap is back, and Zemo's like, "You know what? I'm going to go talk to Arnim Zola. I'm done with y'all."
Yeah, Arnim Zola. I like Arnim Zola.
Arnim?
Arnim?
It's not Armin. It's Arnim.
Arnim?
A-R-N-I-M. Arnim. Arnim Zola.
Arnim Zola. Arnim Zola. It makes you feel bad. I thought that was also MODOK, but it was not MODOK. Those are 2 different people. Go ahead and put your head. Yeah, go ahead and do that. No, that's the reaction I wanted you to do.
All right. So then we go to a flashback.
Next week, this is it.
We go to a flashback where Cap and Bucky fought Zemo.
Yeah.
They whooped his ass.
Obviously, yeah.
But in the process, they cut this line that like burns his face.
Yeah, it's so weird.
I'm wondering if he didn't become Red Skull in this show. I'm probably wrong.
Right, 'cause it was like some weird orange goose shit that went on top of him.
What was brown?
Brown shit, yeah.
But it burned his face, and I don't know. It was weird.
Right, he was like, and it was kind of horrific, actually. He's like, "Ah!"
Right. So then we go back to present day. Zemo's coming down.
Some undisclosed area.
Yeah, Zemo's coming down this elevator. He gets attacked what I can only describe as like a mud slimer from Ghostbusters.
Looks like Monk, like the Pokemon Monk or Grimer. Like
Muck.
Muck. What I said?
Monk.
Muck. Is that it?
It's Muck.
It's Muck. Cool. That's what it looks like. It looks like a weird looking.
Like to me, he
slimy thing.
He looks like Slimer from the Ghostbusters, just made of mud.
And I like how Baron Zemo's just.
And Zemo's just walking, and this thing's like creeping up behind him
literally
quietly.
Creeping upon him.
And all of a sudden, it puts his arm up around.
He was gonna hit it. Didn't he hit it?
Oh no, he cut his fingers off.
Yeah, he cut his fingers.
He turned, which obviously doesn't do anything.
Right.
But he turns around really quick, cuts its fingers off, and he's like, "Zola."
He said that's one of my. He said we get lonely down here or something. I'm like, and then he puts his arm around him. He went, "Get off me." Don't touch me.
So then Arnim gives him some sort of treatment for I'm guessing what happened to his face.
Right.
Because if it doesn't, it's going to kill him.
Right.
But they don't have a cure for it, and that's when Zemo tells Zola, he's like, "Hey, Cap's still alive." And Zola's like, "Ooh, if you can get me some of his blood,
yeah,
we can actually reverse this. Whatever issue this happens." He's like, "Good, I'll bring you his head," which is a very dark thing to say in a kids' animated show.
Right. Yeah. This is This show, I we say it every time, but this show is very.
I'm liking it.
I'm liking it. I like dark shit. You know what I mean?
So then the Avengers show back up at the mansion.
Mm-hmm.
Black Panther dips, kind of.
Right. Right.
Cap basically, or Iron Man basically tells Cap that Cap was his biggest inspiration. His dad talked about him all the time. Yeah. Which this show kind of shows a different side of where like Tony and his dad were actually closer than what they were in the movies.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I mean,
or at least so far it seems that way.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna ask you, so do you like that type of thing, like the connection, or do you like the? Yeah. I mean, it is cool. I mean, that's cool, I guess. Brings a lot of attention to him, I guess.
There's a reason they're doing this because it's basically showing that Cap was friends with both Iron Man's father and Nick Fury's father. Right, yeah. So he's kind of going to have this. He's going to have a point at some point in the show where he's going to have to choose who to be with.
Yeah, it's like this ain't setting up, and it's every time you see Iron Man, just think of like plot, like it's like this moves the plot along. Here we go.
I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get a Civil War storyline in this show.
Oh, I'd be
that is S.H.I.E.L.D. versus the Avengers.
Yeah. Part 1, part 2.
Just wait.
It'd be a 2-parter like it was with the first episode.
Cap gets kind of bummed here.
Yeah,
he realizes everyone he's ever known is dead.
Well, like in Captain America: Winter Soldier, he said, "You're going to do it this way." No, all people are my people are dead. So.
And he's like, "There's no reason for Captain America."
Right.
He sets the shield down, and he walks off.
Yeah.
This is when we get a warning that monsters are attacking the Statue of Liberty. This is the funniest Avengers Assemble moment because Iron Man goes, "Avengers Assemble," and Wasp goes, "We're all right here." And Iron Man stops, looks around for a second, and then takes off.
Teen Titans, go! Never mind, just go! I love it. I swear, Wasp is like...
Wasp and Iron Man.
Yeah.
And Thor.
Yeah. Because he's like in my top 4, top 3, because he's like, we're already here, bro. Like, did you shoot at me? Yes. You can be anything. Quick jokes too.
So they jump ahead to the actual fight, and the heroes are struggling with these weird dough creatures.
Yeah, they're
like eating them, and like every time Thor uses his lightning attack, it makes it grow.
I guess so. Sure.
And they're getting like eaten alive, basically.
That was kind of funny because they're like. He's like, they're eating me. I'm like, yes, they are. Actually, they're literally eating you.
Then we pan over to the front of the mansion, which, by the way, the gate's fixed after just one episode.
Hello. What?
And one of the individual dough slimers show up at the front gate and just kind of squeezes its way through.
So it's just like the sixth, somebody that got up in this bitch, like...
Third
time somebody got
2 episodes.
In 2 episodes, right. There's somebody got up in here?
Third time in 2 episodes.
God damn. I thought he said it's supposed to be impenetrable, all that shit that he was just talking about. I guess it's not too secured.
But we see Wasp sat back with Cap.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because Wasp was the one that was like, we're already here together.
Yeah, we're ready to do this.
And then all of a sudden, Wasp was like, all right, I'm going to stick back and talk with, the man at a time while you guys do whatever it is the fuck you... Like, I don't know.
Wasp, you're the first one in this bitch. What happened?
Right.
That was a dial back. Like, you went, like, okay. Jesus.
So it Cap pretty much is going through a I wish I was alive, not alive moment.
Oh.
He's like, I wish I'd never woke up.
Play some depressing song.
And then it pans away.
Yeah, that's it.
Mid-conversation. Yeah. This bothers me about this, and this is actually why I knocked it down.
All right, I got heard he was going to knock it down. I'll get to that.
So then we get to the Statue of Liberty, and the dough creatures are now merging with each other and merging onto... it's getting
one
weird.
Big dough creature. Here we go.
It's getting
I was
weird.
ready for it. I was like, yeah!
And at this point, we see Cap and Wasp running through the hallway. And I'm like, hold on a second. So what you're telling me is off screen.
Right.
All of a sudden.
Right. It was, yeah.
They came to a conclusion that Cap has a home here or something? Like, there was no like warning from the house or anything else.
It was just like,
it was just like they're running through the halls.
They're running through the halls. So he got plot too. Okay, so Iron Man and Cap got plot. Okay, I'm just making sure who all got plot. I'm just trying to figure it out who all has like plot here, man.
So then they are approached by the dough creature.
Oh man.
And the creature starts to give them some issues.
No, obviously, yeah.
Starting off.
Yeah, he's a big old slimy thing.
Eventually, the monster eats Wasp.
I'm sorry, I'll laugh.
But then you see all the lights
she's literally
start to glow up. And
like
then it explodes.
It reminds me of Men in Black 1. He's like, he was shooting him from the inside.
And she's standing there. She's like, this is disgusting.
Because she got 8. It was like, bro, poor Wasp. Wasp can't get a break.
And then all of a sudden, Wasp is blasted out of midair by Zemo with a gun. And I'm just like, Wasp, you are the world's tiniest punching bag.
How the hell are you getting blasted? Out of everybody, you are getting blasted. But she does, we'll talk about, but she does have a moment later on. But we'll talk about that. Because, Jesus, bro.
All right.
And she was so good. Bam. Ah!
So Cap charges. They start fighting each other.
Zemo, Captain. All right, here we go.
As Zemo starts to win.
Yep.
All of a sudden, you see Black Panther throw Cap his shield. And he does it in a way where Cap is like knelt down in a doorway, and Zemo's got his sword up about to swing down. And the shield lands literally just above.
And that did not get his fingernails at all. Like,
just above his arm, where he's holding himself up.
Yep, and, he just
and then all of a sudden, the sword comes down on top of the shield. And then Cap's like, all right, you want to fight? He yanks it out of the wall.
because you were going to get your shit back. Yeah, sure.
He's like, let's go. And then he whoops his ass.
This whole episode. You gotta look. This is so funny.
So then, in order to get away, Zemo throws like a grenade, a little mini grenade, over by Wasp.
Yeah. And why? Why is... Damn, Wasp.
Here's my question.
What are you doing?
You ready for this?
Yeah, what you got?
Okay. So, Cap, what he does is he slams the shield down to where the bomb is like right in front of the shield.
Right.
He ducks down behind it, which is in front of Wasp. So he's protecting him and Wasp.
Right.
And it blows up.
Right.
Why didn't he put the shield over the bomb?
He's done that in MCU a lot, where he kept bombs to make sure it just blows up right there.
Right.
Yeah, that was.
Does that not seem like it'd be a lot easier to deal with?
Yeah, that's kind of stupid what he did. Huh.
Unless maybe he was thinking he might have misjudged it in a rush, and maybe he would have got her stuck under there with it, and she'd have just blown up anyways. I'm just saying.
Oh, I get that right. That would have been her conclusion. Oh my god! I get eaten
and then blown up by my friend.
Twice. And then she's like, "I'm happy to be an Avenger." And hey, this is what Hank Pym was talking about. Bitch, you can't be one. This is so stupid.
They
wish he had did that. That would have got a 10 out of 10. That would have got a 10 out of 10.
I would have loved this episode. How do we get a 10 out of 10 from you guys? Die.
Oh my god, I got you. Oh, was she in there? Was she in there? Oh, Lord.
Ralph has lost his shit.
I didn't predict it. I'm sorry.
All right. So,
I'm coming back.
They decide they're just going to come meet up with the other heroes. Back at the statue. Meanwhile,
I guess something important.
Wasp and Cap show up. The blasters are helping, and they realize that Wasp's blasts are actually causing damage.
I guess so.
To these guys, or this guy. I don't know. I don't know if it's 1 or 12 at this point.
It's just a lot.
It's just one giant Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Ghostbusters. This episode was funny. That's why I rated so high. It's like, what the hell is happening? We wonder, like, what's happening? We're really like, what is going on?
Pym is wondering why Wasp blasters are working when nothing else is. And then Cap is like, this is one of Zola's freaks. And then that's when Pym's like, I should have known.
Oh, God. Hey, what?
He's like, that's why Wasp's things are working, because they're set on bioenergy.
What type of plot are we?
And he does this thing where he changes a frequency where he can scream really loudly or at a certain frequency.
Yeah, a certain frequency.
And then he's like, Iron Man, change your frequency. And Iron Man's like, Jarvis, do what he said. And which is funny. Which is funny because that's what Iron Man would have done. He'd just be like, whatever he. Because do not get me wrong. Do not get me wrong. Pym explained it in great detail, but I still have no clue what the fuck he was talking about.
No, because I say plot. Everything's a plot about this whole episode. Jarvis, do plot. Gotcha.
So they
How
tune
do we go from this episode, the last episode, to this episode?
So they tune their weapons to match that energy signature.
Oh shit, man!
And then destroy this Pillsbury Doughboy.
Pillsbury Doughboy. This marshmallow thing.
So they get back to the mansion.
Did you say this was disgusting too?
No, but I did love that part where Iron Man. So before Cap had showed up and they're fighting, Iron Man's is fighting. He's like, I'm so glad Cap isn't here. They probably didn't have these things in the 1400s. He's like, they'd probably. What did he say?
He said, shit.
They would probably terrify him.
Right, they would.
And then all of a sudden he starts being eaten, and he's like they're doing me now. Me now. And it's great.
Yep.
So then we go back to the mansion, and Tony tells Steve that he can be with the Avengers if he wants. He has a place with the Avengers, and Cap's like, I'd be honored.
Yeah, he was happy. He's like, you'd be honored. Yeah.
But he wants to know when he can meet the Avenger in the black cat uniform.
He's like
and
who?
Tony's like, who?
Who? Right. That was good. No, that was good. That's classic Tony. I'm like, who are we talking about?
And then we see Zemo being approached by Enchantress and Executioner with an offer he can't refuse. Actually, so they knocked out Arnim Zola.
Poor Arms. Poor Arms Zola. At least we see somebody else knock out. That's not the Wasp.
All right, so.
So what do you think of this episode, man?
At the end of the day, I gave this episode an 8 out of 10.
I gave it a 9 because it was funny.
You told me it was an 8.
Is it? Oh, I did. Oh, it was an 8. My bad. Sorry.
I wrote it down.
Thank you. That's how I said.
The next one's a 9 for you.
Yeah. This was good. This was a funny episode.
There were a couple issues I did have with the episode. Again, the big glaring one, and honestly, the reason why it was not an 8 instead of a 9 for me. Because again, I have yet to see a perfect episode. The perfect episode is going to have to take some drama.
Yeah.
Some emotional pull.
Don't make it funny.
No, there can be some humor.
Some humor. Okay.
A good plot push. Not story mixed with action.
Right. I got plot.
Like, it's got to have everything.
Right.
But the thing that kept this from being a 9 for me was Cap and Wasp having a conversation that wasn't even finished.
Yeah, and it just cuts.
Like, Wasp is like, yeah, Tony tried to make the room look like it was from the 1960s or 70s, whatever the fucking time it was.
Right. Yeah, whatever it was.
To make you feel more comfortable, and all of a sudden it pans over, some stuff's happening over at the thing, and then it comes back and they're running down the hall and Cap's going into action.
Right.
I want to know what was said. What happened? Yeah. What was it that Wasp said that made
could have been a deep moment right there.
That made Cap go, you know what? You're right. Because, and to be honest, at this point, I no longer find him annoying.
Oh, yeah.
It was literally that entire Cap-only episode. It was very much set in World War II. He was very much the Boy Scout. And in this one, he was
he's out of his depth, so he don't know what the hell this is.
In this one, he actually feels kind of defeated.
Right.
He's trying to figure things out. He's not, and again, he's not doing the I'm a Boy Scout routine. He's just like...
Right, I'm out of it. Well, I gave him a pick-me-up and call that night. That was it.
Now if only we can get Hank Pym on page.
Get that one.
All right. And now, for the last episode of this podcast.
Yay.
This episode of the podcast.
This episode. Yay.
Episode 10, Everything is Wonderful. All right.
Fucking title, man.
The episode opens with a guy being transformed into something. We don't know what's going on here. And you see it kind of from his perspective as he's laying down. Right. You see Thor kind of pop in. And then it kind of... But it's off like in a distance. You see MODOK kind of sitting up here. A little action and stuff's going on up here. But mainly it's like you're seeing all the lights and things going on. And then all of a sudden, it shows him kind of, you're looking through his eyes, and as he looks over, you see a few AIM soldiers kind of fly off the edge.
I think Wasp was there too, so you see...
Well, I didn't see Wasp.
I thought I saw like some yellow lights or something, but it could be something.
You might have seen the lights, but I don't think you saw Wasp herself.
Yeah, herself. Yeah.
But you see 3 AIM dudes kind of fly over the edge.
Right, they were getting thrown over. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he turns into this big purple dude.
Yeah.
That kind of pulls himself up out of the hole, and then the episode shifts.
Shifts 3 hours. And it's like 3 hours later.
It's like 3 hours earlier.
Earlier, not that late. Earlier, yeah.
And see, I'm cool with that. If you want to show me a little bit of what we're going to be getting into and how we got there,
man, that's juicy.
I'm cool with that.
I fucks with that.
I fucks with that.
Yeah.
All right, so I was like, yeah, but let's go back 3 hours.
Yeah.
All right. What ends up happening? So Tony is in a meeting with a guy by the name of Simon Williams.
Simon Williams. Yep. Simon Williams. Yep.
And he is the person that started the company Williams Innovations.
Right.
And we find out that Tony had bought majority shares of Williams Innovations. Now during this conversation, he's like,
he's not even paying attention to him. Really, I mean,
Tony's doing his own thing.
I mean, that's just Tony being Tony.
He's working on things. He's playing on things. Right. He's not responding.
He's like, I don't want you to take. He's saying, I don't want to take my company. He's like,
So he's like, you've been buying up shares left and right. He's like, I've put everything I've had into this company.
It's not like a childhood thing that he got from the ground up.
He's like, you're not going to take this company.
And he's like...
And all of a sudden, all Tony says is, as of 15 minutes ago, I'm the majority shareholder.
I'm a majority shareholder. And he's like, you won't get away with it. And
he's like, he starts going off. He's like, you're not going to get away with this.
And Tony was like, wait.
And
why didn't you just...
As he's walking out of the office, Tony is like, yo, hey, wait, I want to... Like, he's trying to explain what's going on. Now, this is a character flaw of Tony's, because Tony is actually... We'll find out here in a little bit. Tony's trying to do good.
Well, I mean, he said this
but he's not good at portraying doing good.
No, but he's literally
because he's so caught up in what it is he's doing.
Right.
He's almost not even worried about what Williams is going through.
And it's kind of really... Well, Hank Pym said it's kind of sad, to be honest. Or when he
Hank Pym kind of pops out of the computer.
That's weird. You got popped out. Like, hey, hi.
Hank Pym was working inside the computer. As Ant-Man.
Right.
But he pops out and he's like telling Tony, like, dude,
like,
you're kind of a piece. You're kind of a piece of shit.
Right. He said like work F. Though he said something. He says business ethics or something like because you're not engaging with the person. You're just like ignoring him from where he go. But that's just really Tony being Tony, to be honest.
Right. So I can't because Tony's not even explaining to Ant-Man what's going on.
Right. He's
like
just doing
Ant-Man just legit thinks Tony is just being a dick.
But I feel like I guess he hasn't been living in the tower though because I was thinking like well damn if you've been living in the tower you should have known this is how Tony's personality anyway. But
he hasn't been.
He hasn't been. That's why I said he hasn't been. So.
Plus, it's still very early on.
Yeah, it's still the beginning.
This is like day 3. Yeah. So, I mean...
Yeah, Hulk's still missing.
Somewhere.
He's somewhere. Throwing temper tantrums. Probably blew up a village by now.
Then we find Thor and Wasp chasing some AIM dude in some weird machine. AIM ship thing. But it shoots like this black hole weapon.
No, but that was interesting, though. It shot a black hole. Because they were like, what's it doing? And once again...
It almost sucked him in.
I'm trying not to laugh because
Wasp continues getting her ass beat.
Bro, like, Wasp, this is like your 10th time getting ass whooping. Like, she went literally in there, bro. Like, in the I thought she's gone.
But then at some point, she's like, hey, can you clip one of his wings? And Thor's like, yeah. So he shoots lightning at one of the wings. And then all of a sudden it starts to go down. Yeah, he's like, hey, let's go finish this. She's like, hold on.
Right. See?
Let's follow it.
Finally.
Let's follow it back to its base and see where it goes.
Wasp had a smart move here.
Look at the Wasp being smart.
For the first time ever, without dying.
And her future husband's a scientist that's dumb as hell. All right.
What a good couple, man. Good couple.
Right. So then, Cap is suiting up for no reason.
He has the suit. Yeah,
he's got the suit on with the. He's got the straps on, and he's like looking in the mirror.
He's like, "What are you doing, soldier?" I'm like, "What the fuck is happening?"
He's having flashbacks.
He's having a moment. He's having a moment up in here.
And then he gets a message that somebody's waiting on him.
He's like, "For me?"
He walks out. Turns out Fury's there to talk to him, and Fury's got something he wants him to see. So then.
He's a Hydra agent. I'm just kidding.
That would be fucked up.
Oh, that would have got 10. Hello.
Give it time. So. Then Simon is actually in a car with his brother, who is actually Eric Reaper,
right,
the Grim Reaper.
The Grim Reaper.
And he's asking his brother for help.
He's like, "What do you think I am? Like a criminal or something? Oh, a psychopath. He's calling him a psychopath."
He's like, "What did you call me?"
Oh yeah, psychopath.
Psychopath.
Damn. Hello.
And Simon takes him to Eric takes him to MODOK.
MODOK.
And MODOK offers to change Simon to help him beat Tony or get rid of Tony or however he wants.
He said, and then I think he asked him, "Will I still be human?" He said, "Yeah, you'll keep your human."
Well, no. At first he's like, "Why would you want to be human?"
Right, he said, "Always want to be human."
And that's what Groomer's like, MODOK.
MODOK.
Like, yo, chill. And
hey,
he's like, "You'll keep
real,
every
though.
quality that makes you Simon Williams."
Right, that makes you who you are, but you're
makes you
still
who
not
you
gonna
are.
be human. You're not gonna be human no more. He said, "Why would you want to be human?" I like that.
They say Simon, or he says bots helps prep Simon. They come in, they spray him with some sort of gas.
Yeah, some aim bots.
Reaper and MODOK have a little more of a conversation while all this is happening.
He said, "I'm gonna talk to the leader or something," because he said, "You may be Hydra, but you still need like AIM scientists to
he was going to talk to Baron.
Yeah, talk to Barry about that because you need AIM.
Von Strucker, not Zemo.
Yeah, because he said like you need his shit to keep going, to keep the shit flowing. Otherwise, we will not do business no more." And that's when Reaper just found. He said, "Okay."
Well, MODOK looks at him and he's like, "You do realize no one's ever survived this."
Yeah, no one ever survived this. Right.
Which Reaper's like, "I know," and then on his way out, he's like, "Let me know if my brother survives this." And he takes off.
That was such an asshole thing for him to say, actually. Oh, shit. He said, "Yeah, let me know if he survived." Damn, what?
So then we go back to Cap and Fury together. They're in a barber shop, and one of the guys in the barber shop. I liked this. One of the guys.
He's gonna cut.
One of the guys in the barber chair gets up, out of the way.
He clicks a button.
Fury goes over and sits down.
I like that scene.
And he's like, "Come have a seat." And Cap's like, "It's already issue cut." And all of a sudden, the guy pushes the button, and Fury's chair starts to go down, and Cap's kind of like, "Oh, okay."
Right.
So he goes, he sits down, dude pushes the button, it goes down. They go down, they go down, and honestly, thank goodness it wasn't a long drop, because I would have, like me personally, if it's more than a floor, I'm freaking out.
It's like, oh shit, this is and ain't no seatbelts on this bitch too. Like all I can do is slide right to that motherfucker, and I'm becoming a pancake on the ground. Damn it.
So they get down there. Nick Fury turns off his computer that he, I guess, watches things from, whatever he does.
Yeah, because he can remember, once again,
porn, whatever he watches.
You say porn.
People in their showers,
He's watching the
things S.H.I.E.L.D. are really good at doing.
Right. It's classified, that good shit. And I Cap never asked any questions, but I guess he didn't know what a computer was, so.
Nah. So he takes him to a back room, where we come to find out that Nick Fury has Captain America's motorcycle.
And he said, "It's all here, or it's here."
And Cap is super stoked. And he's like, "This is where you actually first realize that was his grandfather that he saved in the earlier Cap episode." Mm-hmm. He was like, "Yo, my dad gave me this. Said he fought beside you.
He told me stories.
His name was.
Was it Lynn?
No, it was like Jack or something like that.
Jack. He said, "Yeah, my great-grandfather or my father told me stories about how you guys did this."
And he's like, "I've had it ever since, and I figured now that you're back."
And you just know this is some. I hate Nick Fury. You just know this is a game plan why he's doing this, because that's always a reason why he's doing this.
Sergeant Jack Fury. I was right. Jack Fury. So
and then Cap does this, and
he pretty much asked Cap. He's like, or Cap asked, or is that later?
No. Was it
No, it was right here.
Right, because
Cap asked me, he's like, Tony, I know what Tony said, but can I trust you? And
this is why I told you at work, I was
so mad at Nick Fury at this. He goes, "When it matters."
And it zooms in on his face, like, motherfucker.
I want to be like,
I want to punch you with
so
my
then
shield.
I can't trust you any other time, just only when it matters.
Only when it matters. Right.
Like, I fucking
we shouldn't even have cut from whatever. We
should
should stay right there. So I'm like, oh, this would have been a good tension moment. No, we stay right here. Like, so I can't trust you at all. Only when it matters. When it matters. What? So Nick Fury's just an ass throughout this whole shit. Okay, I'm just kidding. I just want to make sure.
Give it time. Now it's probably another thing where we'll eventually grow to like them.
Yeah.
It's just Fury being Fury. It's just right now they've very much written him to be somebody we don't trust as viewers.
Right, he makes it seem like he wants everybody not to be trusted, like not trusted, the viewers, everybody, man.
So we go back. Pym and Tony are still arguing.
Oh yeah, because he was arguing about Ultron. Yeah, they're all about the Ultron.
And it kind of started arguing about the Ultron setup and things like that.
Which that could be interesting to look forward to.
And Tony's getting mad because he's trying to change and people don't see that.
Well,
he's like, I'm trying to do the right things.
I'm trying to do the right thing. People don't see
the problem, again, is Tony's not explaining what he's trying to do. He's also holding a very secretive side to him.
Right.
Which, again, plays on that different perspective of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Tony.
S.H.I.E.L.D. and Tony, right.
Thor and Wasp end up following the AIM guy back to their base, and this part's funny because
this is the funniest shit ever. Because
the AIM dude walks in.
Yeah,
and
they land the ship. He walks in, and then
he's like, yeah, they followed me all the way back.
He said, "You followed them here?"
Yeah. They were like, you came back while they were following you, and then all of a sudden Wasp appears over
on his shoulder,
over someone else's shoulder.
Someone else's shoulder,
and she's like, yeah.
Surprise, bitch. Surprise. Gotcha, bitch. That's what Dave Chappelle should have came out and said, gotcha, bitch. Blasted her right in the head. Boom.
So then Thor crashes in as well.
Hey, he did hey, that's some Thor shit. He just crashes it like, hey, what's good? I'm here.
And this is where we come in where the episode started. The guy's being changed. Yeah, he's having a fight.
Like, up there just watching it. And that's gotta be so terrifying knowing that you can't do nothing. You can't get out, you can't scream, you're just watching this
What's great is I love that we finally get to see this part of it.
Oh, here
because we get some great.
He said,
great.
What did he say? It's a very big head, a foul creature. He said it's a very big
We get some great Thor one-liners.
Even Wasp was giving us some one-liners.
To MODOK. My favorite one was Thor saying, it's like a frost giant's head on an infant's body.
My favorite was when he just said, what is it? It's a very big head. Like, they just didn't know what the fuck this was. They just said, this is just something just sitting there. Oh, shit. And he's just getting pissed. And I'm like, there's nothing you can do, bro. They're dogging. They're on your head, man.
Right. So Simon dips.
Yeah, because he already turned into the...
He turned into
whatever. What is this? Like, what?
I don't know.
Is he I guess, was he a Marvel character, or was he...
I don't know.
So he's just some weird energy thing. Okay, sure.
I don't know. He's there.
He's there. He's with White for Stark, yeah.
But it goes back to Tony and Pym still arguing.
Right, what the fuck is this?
What? And that's when Simon shows up. And I love this part, too, because, like, they hear this loud bang, and Tony's like, the fuck is that? So he flies out of the building, goes straight up, and into what is supposed to be the window of his office that has been blown out. And he's like, oh, that's okay. I didn't need an office up here anyways. And then all of a sudden... Simon is sitting there, and
he's just like, dark.
He's like, I told you I wasn't gonna let this happen. He's like, Simon, and then all of a sudden he starts fucking Tony up.
Yeah, because he's like walking.
He breaks off an entire arm piece.
Yeah, he's ripping him apart.
He rips off like the chest piece.
He ripped off his helmet,
and then he punches him
so hard. His helmet.
He punches him so hard, like the helmet and shit was cracked. Oh, dude.
Like, you hear him. That's the second time you hear him make a noise when he goes by when he falls down.
And then he grabs Tony, throws him to where his head goes through a wall.
I'm surprised his head's still there.
And Pepper Potts was walking in through that door, and he looks at her with his head poking out the wall, and is like, Pepper, you need to get out of here now.
And then he just
and then he gets pulled back through.
This is the most stupidest shit. First of all, how is your head? I thought that was like, I swear I thought that was like a metal. I thought it was metal. He just threw him through. Like,
no, it was wood.
I was about to say, your head, you should be concussed, bro. You don't got your helmet, man. Pepper, get out now. You see her just leave. She's like, you know what? I don't want to go to work anyway. This is bullshit.
Tony's trying to explain to Simon that he wouldn't listen. Like, he was trying, like...
Yeah, he was trying to tell him, like,
I was trying to tell you. And at this point, Ant-Man interferes.
Oh, shit.
And pretty much tells Tony to fuck off. And Tony listens.
That too, and then then he tries to talk to. I'm like, bro, you can't talk to somebody that's pure energy, dude.
You say that, but he almost had it.
Yeah, I mean, told midway through, he almost had it. I'm like, the first time he bumped in, I'm like, this man is set on one goal, and that is to kill Tony Stark right now. He's not even gonna listen to. He's like, you gotta calm down. He's blasting him. I'm like, bro, you. And then I get it. And then later on,
we'll get there. Yeah, he's again trying to rush.
But like right now, I'm like, why are you trying to talk to somebody that's pure anger right now? What are you doing, Hank? Like,
so it transfers. I'm trying to move the story so we can get there, because he's really trying to rush to the further fight.
This is why I hated Hank right now. This is why Hank is like the worst. worse right now.
This is the one moment I've agreed with Hank.
Yeah.
Especially since it starts to work. But like I said, we'll get there.
Yeah.
So it goes back to the fight between Thor and Wasp and MODOK.
Gotta love it.
MODOK dips the fuck out after Wasp blows the whatever that is on MODOK's head off.
But then Wasp starts shooting the AIM people. He said, "Why you want to work for this guy? You can clearly see he's ugly." I'm like, "Dang!" Even Wasp is throwing shade. Somebody that gets clapped off every single episode has even threw shade. And then even Thor threw hair. He said, That's the only one target I can hit. I can't hit nothing else but your head. Like you're just one big head, bro."
Right.
Right. Shit.
See, I couldn't remember if that was in this or if that was in the MODOK trailer.
No, that was in this.
Yeah, so there's a part where Thor throws the hammer and it hits MODOK in the face. And he's like, "Why did you throw that at my face?" And Thor goes, "I was literally trying to hit any other part of your body."
Right, he got his hand and gone. Short, gone. There's no hands.
You have like no experience with MODOK, do you? Oh, dude, he's like the main villain, Marvel Avengers.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So he's really like
he's a pretty big time.
Wow.
He's in every Marvel Ultimate Alliance at some point.
Huh. That is bad. I would like, you know what? Cause he when I first look, he looks like somebody that looks easy to defeat. Like, I mean, well
he usually is.
Yeah. Damn. And then he's thinking like, I'm like this big sign, and you probably are. You're probably a smart person, but you're not good at the tactics, bro.
No.
Not fighting tactics, man.
So dude dips.
Yeah, he dips. He's gone.
Like the building itself is a spaceship.
Yeah, it was a spaceship. I saw it. It was rumbling.
And at this point, Tony calls the Avengers back for help. And then we see Simon and Ant-Man fighting in the street.
Now this one, I agree with you on this. When we get to that, yeah.
So Simon grows.
Right. Which
after Ant-Man does. Ant-Man grows.
Right.
To try and hold him down.
Right.
And be like, he's like,
calm down.
He's like, you need to calm down. We need to talk. Simon grows.
And then Ant-Man's like, you can grow too?
Yeah, he's like, dude.
It freaked him out.
Scientist to scientist, like, that's fantastic.
Right,
like, I would love to look at that and see how you do that. And,
I'm like, Hank, you can't. I get it.
They finally get to this point where he actually talks him down.
Yeah, see, I'm with you with that
and
now.
He shrinks himself.
Right.
And he's like, look, scientist, I just want to talk to you. And so then Simon shrinks, and Simon starts to actually just have a normal conversation, like no fight, normal conversation.
Like this, I agree with. Like,
and then here we go.
Yeah, now
Tony jumps in and starts hitting.
He does like some weird little capture photon thing, and he captures him. He's like, and he's like, no, stop. Like, see, I agree with you halfway. And that first part, I was like, why? Now I get like that part right there. I get it.
Well,
like,
there's a reason. He was trying to get Iron Man away from the situation,
right?
Which is why he was like, Iron Man, you need to leave,
right?
Because he knew if he could get Iron Man away, it would give him time to figure out something to be able to talk. I mean, he knew he was going to have to fight starting off.
Right, because at least, when he first said, I need to talk to you, I'm like, you can't talk to somebody who's like pure mad right now.
But while they're fighting, he's throwing little things in there like, we're both scientists, let's do, let's have a conversation.
We come back, I was like, okay, now, like I said, like that halfway I agreed to it, yeah.
So then, Iron Man interferes.
Yeah, and that's when Tony
pisses dude off again, and I'm just like, Tony,
you had a chance. Yeah.
You could have just chilled and let this.
He's like, this is right here. You're totally unstable. I said, Tony, I get it, but I get it. He's bad, unstable, but you gotta calm down too, bro. And he even told him, y'all both gotta calm down, stop fighting. And then here come the Avengers.
It wasn't even the Avengers at first. Here comes Captain America.
Yep. Yeah, he came with the shield. Yeah.
He came with the shield. The motorcycle. Was blocking things.
And see, Cap is just doing what Cap. See, that's the thing. Tony really was doing what Tony's doing. I don't know. Hank was like probably the only odd one, but Cap did what Cap was doing. He's just trying to defend people, bro. That's literally what Cap is. He's a walking Avenger. That's what he is.
Right. And then all of a sudden, Simon started to destabilize.
Yeah, something was wrong. He
kind of like started breaking apart a little bit. He would reform, but he'd break off and reform.
It was kind of creepy. Yeah.
And Tony was like, "Yo, there's something wrong." And it's like now all of a sudden Tony's concerned. But Tony's like,
nice.
Tony is like, "Hey, we gotta get you inside." They get him back up to where the arc reactor is in the building.
The one living in the arc reactor.
And as they're getting ready to put him into the arc reactor, he kind of did this last ditch effort form thing where he like pushed Tony away. Tony lost like all his armor.
Right.
And he's like, "No, I came here to kill you, and I'm going to end it now."
And then he
goes to punch Tony.
And he's like,
and as his hand reaches Tony's face, his hand disappears.
Right. He's freaking out.
And he's like, what's going on? And Tony's like, dude, we've got, guys, help me get him in the stabilizer,
Right.
like, or he's gonna disappear. And then he disappears.
That was actually the most daunting moment on me on that part, because I got kind of creeped out. I was like, your last, dang. It's hard to explain in words right here, because it was so...
It was actually an emotional moment.
Whoa, because I was like, okay. Like, see, like you said, like, it had emotional moments at the episode, too. I was like, dang, like, he's gone.
Right.
Damn. All right.
And
they felt it. They were like, or even like Tony Stark felt it. Like, he was just like, I want to do good, and this happens. Like, I get it. It's repetitive, but it's like the same thing. It's needed because he's trying to, like, once again, it goes back to that episode 3. He's trying to do right here somehow, and it's like it's failing miserably, actually.
So then after he disappears... And honestly, I think this is the part that was probably the most touching.
Yeah, because like,
Tony goes, "This isn't what I wanted."
Right, because he wanted to do right. And
he's
right.
I bought his company because it was going to fail. He's like, Simon's
smart.
Simon's super smart. He has great ideas. I wanted to work with him.
Yeah, he wanted to work with him.
And at that moment, it's almost like all the Avengers' attitude changed a little bit. Like they looked at him differently and was like, "Huh."
And what would it end episode 10 like that, though, where everybody really kind of looked at that like...
And it's like, I feel like if Tony would have led with that, we could have avoided all this.
Right, him turning into some purple energy, dark matter thing.
But I mean, it definitely made for a good emotional moment. Like, don't get me wrong, I didn't like tear up or like was like, oh no.
No,
but it's like
it was interesting.
It actually made you feel for him because it's like he was trying so hard to like help somebody, and they wouldn't stop to really take in what was going on.
Right. That's why he was having the whole, once again, 3-hour argument with Hank Pym. Like, I am trying to change. I promise you that. It's like, but it's hard because he's like, it's just, you know, it's an uphill battle with him. Like, I feel like this whole series so far, everybody's fighting demons right now.
They are.
Everybody.
In some way, shape, or form.
Wash is just getting the ass handed to the problem.
Well, hold on. Let's finish this episode.
I got you.
So, after that happens, it goes to nighttime.
Right.
It goes back to the arc reactor.
Right.
And we see Enchantress, Executioner.
It's the 4th time they broke in the tower, by the way.
No, this is.
Oh, I thought it was in the tower.
This is Stark's building.
Oh, Stark's building.
Work building.
Okay,
This isn't Avenger
I
Mansion.
said, damn, this is the tower? Like, what happened?
No, because the Avengers headquarters isn't a tower in this. It's a mansion. It looks more like Doctor Strange's mansion.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a tower.
No.
Okay.
The tower is just Tony Stark's actual work building.
Right, work building. Okay.
Stark Industries. So, it goes back to the arc reactor. And
Simon comes back.
Simon reappears,
rematerialized.
and he actually looks confused.
He's like, "Oh, I'm back."
He's like, "I'm back," and all of a sudden, Enchantress is like, "You're back as long as I want you to be."
That is so that's scary.
So it's Enchantress, Executioner, and Baron Zemo that are there, and she's like, and she's like, and I only want you to do one thing. I want you to destroy the Avengers.
And see, at that she's gonna get rid of you, bro. So it doesn't even matter.
Then that's how the episode ends. And guys, they are doing such an amazing job with building up story plots.
It's a build-up, man.
Because here's what's happening. Here's what I see happening. And again, I have only watched the first 10 episodes. I have not watched further.
Yep.
Some things I know we're going to get, especially in the next series of episodes, because I have seen the titles of them.
Oh, yeah.
We're definitely going to get to them helping Black Panther.
Yeah, because he keeps showing up now, and it's getting to the point now where it's like, okay, guess we gotta go do something with him now, because he's here. So
I'm pretty sure it was Loki and Enchantress that let everyone out of their prisons in the beginning.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure they are what Kang has to stop. Because I'm pretty sure whatever it is they're doing is what's causing the rifts in the future that's killing Kang's timeline. So I definitely think we're going to get Kang fighting alongside the Avengers.
But then turning against them.
But at some point fighting against them. So it's great seeing all these little storylines. Like,
they're going to
Enchantress is building her little team of villains.
Here. Right.
Like actual super villains that gave them issues. I think within the next couple episodes they're also going to break Dude back out. I think we're good. I don't think we've seen the last of Graviton.
Graviton's going to come back. Yeah, because... Yeah.
And we're going to meet some more heroes along the way, and I think we're going to get an Avengers Infinity War Endgame-esque moment of a bunch of superheroes versus a bunch of villains. And I love the way they're setting it up because, again, they've now got Cap on the team.
Right.
We know Hulk's out there somewhere.
Yep.
Black Panther's out there.
And you said Black Widow.
We know Wolverine's in the series.
Yeah, and you said with Black Widow, like maybe she's getting into Hydra just to flip it up. I think she's still. I mean, you could be right about that. Like, maybe she's doing it just to take out Hydra from the inside. Like that's
right.
That's one of the things you told me.
I think because anytime something classified needs to be done.
Right.
Fury still goes directly to her.
Right.
So I'm wondering.
Black Widow because she's the only one that can do.
We know Hawkeye's out there somewhere.
Hawkeye left. Yeah, we just. Yeah, damn. Yeah, we can see Hawkeye after that last little moment.
Black Widow, like I said, I truly do feel like Black Widow is doing this whole thing where she's pretending to be in Hydra.
Right.
And being with them and getting them secret things just so they get their trust in her.
Right.
She finds out where they're at, and then S.H.I.E.L.D. can go and take out Hydra.
Winter Soldier could be in this thing. Like, he could be somewhere.
We could get to that point.
Right, whenever it gets to it. Like, he could be somewhere, maybe in Hydra. Maybe she found, and maybe, maybe with Winter Soldier say, like, oh, Winter Soldier was always attacking me, in the MCU. Maybe that's what she's trying to also, like, get in there, too. But, yeah, there's so many.
What did you give this specific episode?
Oh, shit. Like a 9.
I gave it an 8. It was solid. Very solid.
The jokes were there. It wasn't just like crude jokes like we did the last episode. The jokes actually were there.
Oh no, dude! The jokes against MODOK,
dude,
were outstanding.
He's a very big head. I
still love that. It's like a frost giant's head with an infant's body.
With an infant's body. Why? I'm literally trying to hit nothing but your head, man. Like Thor was just being Thor, bro. Like man. Man. But overall, I give it like a 9 so far. Overall, because it's good. It's a good series.
It's a good series.
Like,
I'm not gonna rate them overall. Again, my overall rating.
Yeah, when we get to season 1, okay.
My overall rating comes from adding everything up, dividing it,
right,
stuff like that. So,
right.
But yeah, again, it was a fantastic episode. It's been a fantastic series so far. It's
good.
Definitely the best animated series I've seen from Marvel ever.
T-Rev, if you're looking at this, you picked a good one because
Rev did well.
Yeah, he did.
So again, next week, ladies and gentlemen, instead of the normal drawing out of here or continuing with this series, next week we're doing MODOK. MODOK drops on Hulu on the 20th.
Yeah, 20th.
20th or 21st? One of those.
One of those two. I know
it's
like
Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday.
Wednesday, Thursday, yep.
Maybe Friday. One of those. I think it's the 21st.
Right.
I think you're right.
Which I saw a trailer. I saw a trailer again. It's not bad.
The trailer looks funny. Now, here's the thing.
Claymation.
I'm not going into this thinking it's going to be this outstanding, spectacular show. I'm definitely going into it just expecting it to be stupid fun.
Because it looks like it's going to be stupid fun. Look, he has like a household and a family and all that. I'm like, MODOK with a family. Who knew? Well, let's go. Well, I like to
His daughter looks just like him.
Yep, daughter looks just like him.
It's going to be funny. So I'm looking forward to that. We're going to end up binging the entire show in 2 days. We're going to have to because we're going to record our episode either Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, it won't take that long.
There's only 11 episodes, so I think they're only 30 minutes apiece. Yeah. So we're going to do that next week, and then for the next 3 weeks after that, we're going to be covering the rest of this.
Yep.
And I believe we're either going to have one more drawing, or after this ends, it might be going directly into Loki. He's not going to be here for the first episode of Loki because he's going to COVID Central. I mean, Disney World.
Disney World? Nice. He's going to go to COVID Central.
So when he leaves, Ralph might not be back for a few weeks.
For a few months, maybe. Just like,
I gotta make sure.
Right. If you sneeze,
he doesn't have anything.
I'm gonna hut you.
No,
go home.
Actually, by then we should have our last shots, so it's not that big a deal.
And then we back to our regular scheduled program, man.
Back to our regularly scheduled program. But yeah, I'm super excited. Again, MODOK, the rest of this, and then Loki, and the rest of the season 1 of this.
And then Black Widow after it.
Black Widow.
We probably won't pull from this.
Black Widow comes mid-Loki.
Mid-Loki, yeah. So we probably won't pull for that for at least another 2 months. I say 2 months before we get back in there. Yeah? Oh, no?
It's 6 1-hour episodes.
Okay.
So it'll be at least 7 weeks.
7 weeks.
6 to 7 weeks.
So
Well, because we're going to cover that episode of Loki and Black Widow in different episodes for 1 week.
Right.
But
so it's just a month, and we're going to be going.
We're getting there, baby!
Yeah.
I'm excited.
This is good.
All right, so with that being said, because this actually ended up being almost a 2-hour episode.
I told you, pound it again.
No, this one alone is a 2-hour episode. The first one was an hour and a half. This ended up longer than the other one.
Shit, and we was really trying. That would have been 4 hours. God damn. Wow.
Yeah. So with that being said, we love you guys. Thank you all. Thank you all for watching. We will see you all later.
Follow us everywhere.
Excelsior.
Excelsior. Subscribe, please. We love you. Bye.